I'm muted. Oh, I'm muted. Okay, wait. I'm muting. Mic is unmuted. Hold up. I need to unmute desktop audio. Perfect. How you guys doing? Stream chat. Subscribe to earn drops. What the fuck is this? Get rewards by purchasing or gifting subscriptions to Easy Geeky's channel while they're live in any category. What the fuck is this? And it says Crunchyroll. Ah, look at that. Oh, well, that's Twitch. Hi, Ellie. Wait. Go get. Oh, fucking Ellie. How you guys doing, man? It's been a while. It's been a week. Hold up. I don't even have a chat. Yo, try the new song music domain? Bet. Hold up. Let me take off my shoes. I should put on shorts, man. It's kind of hot. Yeah, well, I'll wait a bit. I'll keep my sweats on for now. You haven't forsaken us? Never. Yeah, no, I was gone for a week. You know what's funny? I realized why I was so out of it on Monday. You guys want to know why I was out of it? I was going through my my caffeine withdrawals. I try and cycle caffeine out of my system every so often. I'm having a big TV with my PC friend. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, I feel honored to be on the PC screen. I mean on the big TV. COVID, huh? No. Caffeine withdrawals. Literally my caffeine withdrawal. Woo, it got hot. All right, let's open up LOTM. It was funny. I saw a funny post of Lord of Mysteries, and then I think it was Cam, your username, that said, "Hey man, you're treading on some thin lines here. Like you should not be here." And it's like, you know what? You're right. Like I do not want to get spoiled. Wait, it's the wrong one. We need this version. Cammy, it was Cammy, huh? By the way, I read Cammy's theory on Anime Was This channel on who Miss Easy Geeky is. I thought that was pretty funny, and I'm like, damn man, like he did a deep dive. It was really cool. I like the way he was trying to explain it. It's been 25 years since the last stream. But look, man, it's been 25 years. I literally went bald while that happened. No, I'm kidding. Bro, we're back. I know. Don't worry. I got the chapter up here. I'm about to pop out chat. I need to put you guys on the screen. Oh, you guys are on the screen. I lied. I feel like it's not refreshing. It looks like it froze. Oh, no, we're good. Hold up. Live? How long? We're gonna try and go for a good while. Just do this. Hi, Ellie. Why are you barking? You guys want to see her? While I get this ready? Go get it. Alright. That's it? You're done? Evening. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you. Alright, Dora, I got the chapter open right here. Alright. Hi, Ellie. No. We've spent like a whole week together. I gotta stream now, okay? Come on, it's I gotta go in streamer mode, Ellie. I gotta go in streamer mode now. You know it. Come on. You know what time it is, Ellie. Ellie, it's streamer mode time. You know this. Come on. Let me just update my Twitch thing. I know I had it set to clear obscure. Alright, let me just update Twitch. I know usually Twitch doesn't pop off, but you know, we still get a few people come in here and there. So let me just switch this to just chatting. Beautiful. Okay, now we're live on both. Both have the same title. Okay, let me open up my notepad. Beautiful. Notepad is now open, and now we get started. I'm excited. By the way, man, I finished Expedition 33. What a ride. What a fucking ride. I genuinely think Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is one of those generational games that you experience only like every 5-10 years. Like what a fucking ride. What a roller coaster. Such an amazing game. I won't do spoilers, but maybe we'll do a review. That way I can kind of like see how it is doing a review, so we can do our Lord of Mysteries reviews. All right, chapters loaded. Ready? Our notepad is open. I'm gonna turn on the fan because it's fucking hot as shit in here. And then pop out chat. Sorry, am I shadowbound or anyone agreed to ignore me? Oh wait, I'm sorry, Kemi. Check music domain. Sorry. Actually, I've been looking at chat. My bad. Sorry. Tunnel vision. Sorry, I was back after a week. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring it. All right. Check music the game. Get wall closing in ready. What do you mean get it ready? What the fuck? Are we going straight into a fight? Oh, by the way, quick update on my notes. We covered off stream 405 to 426. What? I'm sorry. Give me a second. What's going on with my pop-out chat? Ellie, come on. Why are you barking? Why are you barking? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I love you, but come on. Come on, Ellie. You know what time it is. Don't act like you don't know what's going on. Come on. Come on, Ellie. Work with me here. How did you forget? You know all 22 pathways. Hold up. While I stall, let me let Ellie out. Ellie, you have to say goodbye. Hey, don't get all moody because I gotta go live. Stop. No, say goodbye. Don't get all moody with me. No. Okay? I love you. You gotta go. I love you. Go have fun outside. Go, 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 go. Love you. Alright. I'll put on my shorts later. Yeah, how the fuck did I forget, man? I was going through my notes, and I'm like, I have fucking 20 pathways. And then, what's it called? Isengard said he was a detective, but he's on the reader pathway, and I'm like, that's new, that's 21. But then I was like, what the fuck is 22? Oh shit, I popped up the candle. Okay, we're good. I hope you guys are ready. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot. That's why I was asking you guys. And I was feeling confident. Like, I can just look it up. It's like, what are the 22 pathways? But I was like, wait, hold up. I'm asking you guys. It's like, I know, I'm not going to be confident. I'm not going to risk it. But we're good. We're ready. All right, let's minimize this a little bit. Dude, Romero, please tell me you beat Expedition 33. It was so good. Hold up. I just need to praise it for like 1 more minute. Music domain. I know. I'm opening up Discord right now. Don't worry, I'm opening it up right now. I beg you never be confident, but I take that as a challenge. Challenge accepted, brother. No, I'm joking. Let's go here. Music domain. God damn, I got so many notifications. I have not been on it. Music domain. So it's a new track. You know what's funny? For some reason, the cover got claimed on the live stream. It's not a copyright. It claims ad revenue, but it's whatever's. It's like it says it splits at 50-50. Who cares? That doesn't matter. But I found it funny how like it claimed it on the live stream, but not on the VOD, Cammy. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, we got this open. All right, let's close all these other videos. I got some Beethoven open in the background. I got some Bach open in the background. Okay. Whoa, what the fuck? This looks trippy. Whoa, should I just play that 10 for pop quiz? Describe the 22 pathways? Hell, we got... I don't know what we got. Wait, hold up. I thought I can... You know what? I will try and recount them after stream. Hey, Easy, do you prefer LOM or LOTM? You know what's funny, man? I saw a tweet where... Let me... Hold up. I need to lower the volume. Hold up before I get too distracted. Sorry if it feels like we're stalling since it's been like a week. I kind of want to chat with you guys a little bit before we start. Good. I'll probably just start playing that right away. Dark Magic music. It looks good. Halloween soundtracks. Decay Wearing Masks. Devil. Incredible. Composed and produced by Peter. Album good. All right. Please subscribe. Oh hell yeah. Okay. Beautiful. I am the Paintress. Bro, oh, dude, that Paintress fight. Shit, bro. But I just got Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, I saw that. I saw your tweet. I saw you on Discord. All right, got this ready. Let's play our playlist from the beginning. Man, I beat it. So 0 spoilers, Romero. But fuck, man. I was just looking at the screen, man, during the end credits. I'm like, fuck. Claire Obscure theme is unironically fit for LOTM. It does, man. It fits, man. It fucking fits. So you know what? I think we're gonna start with that. And yeah, the reason I was so out of it last week on Monday, I'm telling you, I was going through my caffeine withdrawals. So I was really shaky and like I was jittery. I was kind of all over the place. I was crashing, man. I was like, I had to go to bed. I had a crazy ass headache after. But this is ready. We're good, and we're about to start. Hope you guys are excited. Did you hear about LOTM becoming LOM? I don't know how to feel about that, man. There are some hidden bosses in Claire Obscure. Yeah, so I beat the game. Don't worry, no spoilers, Romero. But I'm going back, and I'm doing as much side content as I can before New Game Plus. And I'm trying to, like, do all these bosses I missed. Ain't letting that happen. What did Bullseye say? Did you hear about it? It's always LOTM out here. Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's weird. It's like the web novel is LOTM, the game is LOM, the physical release is LOM, the Chinese physical release is LOT. It's like, or what was it? The Donghua is LOM, right? It's been LOM for ages, but it's so weird how like the web novel is LOTM and then all this new stuff is LOM. It's weird. And I guess I get it because I remember when I started, I'm like, Lord of Mysteries just sounds better. But then I read more, I'm like, no, it's Lord of the Mysteries. Like that's better. I guess the publishers just find it a weird acronym, so like just take out the T and just make it Lord of Mysteries. But it's weird. The web novel is LOM. LOTM is the old translation technically. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, it's kind of like Attack on Titan. So the on technically isn't in the English name. It's just Attack Titan. And if you watch Attack on Titan, you would understand why Attack on Titan is just called Attack Titan. But I guess it's just a translation thing. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna raise the volume just a smidge. On my end. Should I jump straight into that soundtrack you sent, Cammy, or not yet? Yeah, I think LOTM, but Lord of Mysteries full name. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Before we start the stream, do you guys think it's... Somebody said in the comments, he's like, oh, food for thought, because he was a member. He's like, should you... Like, he was like, you should make live streams members only, but I don't want to make it only that. So I was thinking, like, maybe we keep streams members only for a week? Try now at the end of stream. Oh, we don't know if it's safe? Okay, so let's just play it right now. We'll play it right now. We don't know it's safe while I talk about this. If he spoils, here, I will ban. Yeah, we'll play it right now. We'll see what happens with the live stream. Don't, I'm broke. Yo, I'm broke. I can't remember. No. No, only for a week. No, I was thinking maybe only for a week, at least for now. Because, like, I do want the main videos to do well. My broke is gonna disappear. No, I was thinking, like, maybe just like a week. We make the streams private for a week. No, we make the streams members only for a week. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe we'll just try it for like 3 weeks. And we'll see. Because, like, the reason why I keep some streams private until the last stream, because whenever I do a new stream, it makes it, because I usually always update everything from my phone when I'm away from my computer. So I usually, like, and it's, when I set it up originally on my computer, it's just, I don't have to, like, fuck around with a thumbnail. Like, this is how, like, nitpicky I am. I don't want to fuck around with a thumbnail or, like, change the description. Filter out the peasants. I got you, remember. We'll make it mods only for a week and that for me. Fucking username. Username. It's like, it fucking better be members only now for a week. Behold my... Okay, that was fucking funny. Alright, we'll try for a month. Username, because you're gonna get mad at me if I don't double down. You could do every other stream. That way for those who can't afford. Well, I mean, yeah. Bruh. Well, I'll just do it right now for you guys. Oh, we'll do that. Well, look, we'll just do this stream. Members only for 1 week. You can do every other stream. Okay, we'll try that. We'll do that. Alright, I hope you guys are ready. I feel like I've been stalling for way too fucking long. It's been 8 minutes. Bruh. Ready? Bye-bye, chat. Oh, you're gonna head out, Guido? Alright, so we'll just do this one. Look, we won't even announce it. We'll just do it on the stream. We'll just see how it goes. Wait. It streams after they are VODs, right? Or is it stream chat? Or is it stream chat right now? Wait, what do you mean stream chat? No, not VODs. Wait. Not many watch the VODs, so might as well keep them public for those that do. All peasants. Easy. No, wait, no. I mean the live streams. My bad. Because I guess if you guys haven't noticed, when I end stream, I usually private the stream until the video is up for like a day or so. Because I do want the videos to at least get views. I've seen a YouTube keep the bot up for a day. A YouTuber keeps the bot up for a day. Saving money to buy the Staller potion. I mean, the stream chat right now, does it become members only chat? Oh, no, my bad. No, not members only chat. No. So like when I end stream, the stream will be, oh, that's what I fucked up. Oh, wait, I fucked up when I was explaining it. No. The live stream would be members only for like a week. Just private your entire channel. That would be the biggest troll. That'd be fucking funny. On April Fools, everything disappears. On backchat. Yeah, no, my bad. So like when stream ends, I private stream and set it members only for 1 week. And then it's like public. Come on, easy, do it tomorrow. I'll get my money tomorrow. Just do it tomorrow. It's called a VOD. I fucked up. Then I don't care. I always make the stream. You see, that's the thing. It's like, I figure we make the VODs members only for 1 week, and then it's public after. At least that way, when like there's a long, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Dude, like me having this conversation feels weird and scummy. I don't know. I mean, I did set it to like $1, but I know like that's a lot for a lot of people. So like, don't do that, right? But it's like, I don't know. Easy about to give us all heart attacks. No, yeah, my bad. No, that's not what I meant. Yeah, I fucked up on explanation. All right, zero stalling. Let's go right back into it. But we'll just do this one. IDK, I don't think members really care for it. I think keep public. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I guess. All right. Yeah. Bullseye. All right. Well, let's start for now. Oh, wait, hold up. Before we start, I got to pause this music because we don't know if it's safe or not. Let's pause this. Yeah, just because we don't know if it's still safe or not. So we'll just do that. Are you guys ready? It's been a week, but we're back. And we only stalled for about 15 minutes. But in the video, we've been recording for like 10 seconds. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are excited. But today, we'll be continuing Lord of Mysteries, Mr. Gurman Sparrow Journey to find a mermaid out in the sea. But yes, chapter 505 is called A Servant Worth 3,000 Pounds. You should have doubled down on Hinge. All right, we're doubling down. Hold up. I was having a discussion with you guys in the live stream. So I don't know, because a member asked, like, hey, you should make the live streams after it ends members only for a week for engagement. But I don't know how I feel about that. So you guys let me know. And then for people that watch the video, yeah. For people that watch the video as they join us on Mr. John Bloodborne's journey, they can let me know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I don't know, but we'll see. But for now, Lord of Mysteries, chapter 505. You know who it is. You know what we're here to read. We're here to read the best persona of this arc so far. Mr. Gurman Sparrow. Should be called 3K Pound Maid. Wait, hold up. I don't know if that was a spoiler on the maid, but let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Timestamp before I forget. Oh, well, look at that. Our timestamp is 111. That's pretty funny. 111. Copy paste. Chapter 505. Beautiful. Oh shit. I pasted my title for the live stream, not the title of the chapter. Beautiful. Oh wait, hold up. Let me check my memory. And I know we also need to keep. Oh, I have 220 gigs. Could mom make a poll or Google Talk? Could a mod make a poll or a Google Doc in Discord or something? Wait, a poll for what? What was that for? Wallflower? Oh, wait, hold up. Before we continue, I do need walls closing in, right? You guys said keep walls closing in ready? I'm sorry. I'm really not stalling. I forget how to stream sometimes if I'm gone for like fucking more than a few days, huh? Holy shit. I apologize. Did you stream this weekend? I was gone. I was just playing clear ups here. You know what's funny though? On Sunday, I beat the game. I beat the game yesterday. I played all day. I fucked up. I should have been live, but I fucking played all day, man, from morning to night. I beat that game, and I had like an existential crisis when I was done. I was like, fuck. Should I make a poll? Make VODs member only or not? I think everyone just vote. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wait, Romero, can you do that on this thing right here? This is the suggestion box. Oh, yeah, if you're able to make a poll. Yeah, I mean, if we should just make it for like 1 week. I don't know, but we'll see. Great, he makes sure to only stream when I am free, so consider it. I apologize, guys. But here, let's start for now. Let's continue. All right, chapter 505. A servant worth 3,000 pounds. Okay. Captain, the Red Skull pirates have fled. A sailor rushed into the captain's quarter. How's our audio? It looks good. They fled. Elend lifted his telescope. Elend? Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a guy. Lifted his telescope and looked I can't even read that word. Quizzically at the calm sea, just in time to see the Red Skull disappear into the horizon. Why is my voice raspy? He frowned, completely unable. There you go, sound better. He frowned, completely unable to understand how much a development could have occurred. From his point of view, the white agate armaments definitely were incapable of scaring off the Red Skull pirates. Oh, you're right! We were scaring them off when we told him to, like, either you go down or I put you down. It was guaranteed that both pirates would have to circle around each other dozens of times during the skirmish and fire multiple shots in order to ensure that the other party found them a tough nut to crack. Without daring to engage in a prolonged, they would then rationally choose to retreat. Could it be that the Red Skull was just passing by and had no intention of plundering us? However, if they weren't here to plunder, why would they enter this sea route? This is the easiest place to be stopped by the naval fleet and the church's ship. Even the 4 kings of the 7 admirals will still try their best to keep a low profile when they pass by the surrounding seas. Elend was filled with doubts, and he felt that things weren't that simple. Being careful keeps one away from the disaster. I mustn't be careless. Elend put away his yellow-brown telescope and paced back and forth. He half raised his hand and said to the navigator, "We shall dock at Banksy?" I thought I said Banksy. At Banksy Harbor tonight. Report our encounters with the pirates of the Navy and the Church. According to their usual plan, the next stop for the White Agate would then be Tiana Port. It would probably take 3 days at 13 knots to reach it. From the Tiana Port, it would finally reach the capital of the Rorsted Archipelago, the city of Generosity Bayam. And there was a faster way to sail from Pritz Harbor to Bayam, which would stop only once in the middle of the voyage at Banksy Harbor at about 120 nautical miles from Demir Harbor. Oh, okay. You can't make polls on YouTube. I need YouTube editor rules to do that. I'll just make one on Discord. I didn't even know. Wow, I didn't even know about that. Okay, for sure. Okay, I'll keep that in mind then. The Discord is okay. Username is overreact. No, it's okay. We'll just do it here. Didn't you leave the Discord? Was it too corrupted for you? No, it's never too corrupted. I feel people have their wild days, but it's okay. It's chill. Let me change the music. This is a little. Let's start from here. I need something that fits the mood right now. I have Find My Place. The Red Skulls really left. Donna's father, Urdi Branch, walked to the window and looked out into the distance. Cleves calmly nodded and said yes. Just as he finished the sentence, a sailor's shout sounded from the outside. The danger has been averted. The danger has been averted. Upon receiving official confirmation, Donna and Denton finally relaxed and had the courage to approach the window and look outside. Are the Red Skull pirates that powerful? Donna's eye widened as she searched for a ship that had already gone far away. Put the volume down a bit. Very powerful, Cleves gave his answer. How powerful are they? Denton immediately pressed. On the other side, the bodyguard Teague, like a league? The bodyguard Teague straightened his hair and chuckled. Even if we don't include the cannons and hundreds of pirates on the ship, just Captain Johnson and the first mate Anderson are extremely powerful on their own. Anderson's nickname is One-Eyed. The bounty reward for him in the kingdom is 500 pounds. All of us are in a room added together with the help of a few sailors, might be able to defeat him in battle. And that's just him. What about Johnson? As for Johnson, who's nicknamed Seawolf, he can easily finish such an opponent. Not German Sparrow. If he were to board the ship, no one would be able to stop him. His bounty is worth 900 pounds and nearly 1,000 pounds. Now, how high is German's bounty going to be? Is it going to be like 10,000 pounds? Or like 100,000 pounds? Is that a lot? Actually, no, 1,000 is too. 100,000 is a lot. Probably like 1,000 or 10,000. Is that a lot? Then I was surprised. Hold up. No, never mind. I need to hype up German. It's going to be 100,000. I'm locking in his bounty is going to be 100,000. Is that a lot? Donna was surprised at the potency of the Sea Wolf and One-Eyed as well as their bounty. In her memory, her father earned a total of 1,500 a year. A lot, this is a reward for they had on their heads, could directly be exchanged for them. This item they have on them and things would have plundered will also belong to you. The kingdom will buy it at the market price and you will still have the chance to obtain the bounties from other countries. Cecile explained on the sea, pirates with a bounty of more than 300 pounds are rather powerful. For those who are close who are above 1,000 pounds, they'll be rather famous in the sea they plow. And I mean the vast expanses like the Sonia Sea or the Fog Sea. Therefore, the 4 kings and 7 animals are considered famous throughout the 5 seas. Donna innocently asked. Cleves replied seriously, yes. In that case, are the Red Skull pirates very famous in the entire Sonia Sea? Donna asked with With concise logic. Yes. Wow, that's kind of loud. But why did they flee? Donna blinked. It might not have been them fleeing. Cecile didn't know the reason either. Cleves looked out the window again as he knitted his brows. Maybe there's another reason. Maybe they had no plans to plunder us at all. They just came across us. Other reasons. Donna suddenly had a guess. Could it be that Uncle Sparrow's...
Could it be Uncle Sparrow's tall as a house, gentle messenger that scared them away? Yeah, it's really scary. Donna's mind bubbled like boiling water. She turned her head excitedly and looked down to realize that Brother's eyes were shining as well. The two of them pursed their lips and immediately realized that their tongues were the same. Their thoughts were the same. Tongue. Wow, I can't read. My eyesight's so blurry. Let's go out and get some air on this level. Donna found reason to drag her brother out of room 305. Outside, Denton said in a surprised voice, "Are we going to find Uncle Sparrow?" "Exactly." Donna smiled with a spirited look. "I saw him enter room 312. Inside room 312. Blazing the Nits, who no longer mentioned Vice Admiral Iceberg, looked at the Red Skull, which had turned its bow around and hissed with laughter. They must have been frightened by the declaration of the Navy's cannons and the news that a pirate... You know what's crazy? They revealed that like the beginning of Volume 1, right? The Navy's cannons, like when they had like actual warships or battleships. And the news that a pirate crew had been destroyed recently, they actually took the risk of raiding the sea route in order to earn enough money before leaving the sea. Hey, so what if there are giant ship cannons? The Navy and the Church have a lot of powerful things, and they've always existed, but never have they made it impossible for us to continue being pirates. We can't beat them head on, but we can always escape, right? They can't possibly stay with a merchant ship forever, can they? I know the ironclad warship is getting bigger and bigger, and the steam engine installed in it will also become stronger. One day the speed will break about 18 knots, 20 knots, and once you're on your tail, one can only wait to be caught. However, the sea is so vast, tens of thousands of ships can't even fill a corner. So it's a big world. It's a big sea out there. Can't even fill the corner if they were all thrown there. There are also a lot of unexplored areas at sea. One can hide in those places after doing something. Although it's dangerous, there are still opportunities. This fellow's indeed a talkative type. Don't you think a crazy adventurer wouldn't care about these things? Klein looked away and scanned the room. His gaze finally fell on the leather suitcase. He then raised his chin and said, "Wash the 30 clothes inside." The expression of the gargulous Danit's face froze. He yearned to burn the entire ship down. He felt that his anger was like gushing steam that had lifted from the gate of reason. Then he opened his mouth and took a breath before repeating it again. He flushed his face, softened, and asked without a smile on his face, "Is that all?" "Only the dirty ones. The coat just needs to be brushed." Klein was almost amused by the man's show of anger, but he felt that this was what the Nits deserved from robbing the innocent. The clothes in his suitcase were the ones he'd changed out of last night after shower, and he felt a little lazy, and he could only wash his underwear. Calm down, don't lose control. Calm down, don't lose control. After admonishing himself several times, the Nits walked over to German Sparrow's suitcase, opened it, and took out the clothes that needed cleaning. Wait, is he his maid now? Is that what you guys said maid earlier? What was this chapter called? A servant worth 3,000. Oh, the Nits is... He's the servant, right? He's the maid. I love their chemistry already. Holy... Oh, no. I'm shutting my heart. I don't like him. He's a mid character. Come on. So when he dies, it's not even going to affect me. Come on. No, I'm kidding. I can't say he's mid. I like him already. Yeah, 3K... he paid 3,000 pounds. No. Wait, no, he didn't pay 3,000 pounds for the maid. I might get it. Cameron Sparrow's suitcase opened it, and I lost my place. Klein opened the door to find Donna and Denton. I skipped another line. Just as he was getting busy in the bathroom, he heard the doorbell jiggle. Jingle. Klein opened the door to find Donna and Denton. "Uncle Sparrow, I hope I didn't disturb you." Donna's eyes darted left and right. No, Klein stepped aside. The two little fellows entered the room and were surprised to see the Nits doing the laundry. "Where are the servants?" Denton asked subconsciously. "Didn't bring them along." Klein answered for the Nits. Donna asked in apparent confusion, but there are laundresses attached to the first class cabin. They're charged by the barrel. They're what? They're charged by the barrel? Before she could finish, the Nits froze. He had been so angry that he had forgotten about it. The Nits shook the water from his hand, turned, and forced a smile like German Sparrow. "Can I hire the laundresses for help?" Klein didn't insist on seeing that the pirate make a fool of himself, so he smiled and said, "I only care about the results." Phew, the Nits heaved a sigh of relief. Why are the doorbells jiggling? That's what I want to know. They're back. This is so funny, dude. I love their chemistry already. This is... They have such a good, like, brotherly... Like, they have such a good, like, big brother and little brother chemistry, right? Right? Or is it just me? It's so funny. I love it. Like, they're so, like... They keep snickering with each other, and I find that funny. Before she could finish, the Nits froze. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Hold up. I lost my place. Let me drink water. It's old doorbell, guys. Oh, that's why I jiggled? Hold up. I need to lower the volume on my playlist. It's way too fucking loud. That's why it's kind of throwing me out of it. You mean master and servant? Oh, hold up. I feel like, hold up. That's a little bit too, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that too. Finally caught back out. Yo, what's up, Inevitable? Welcome back. Does it jiggle? Does the door jiggle? Dude, it's weird. Like, fuck, I scrolled down too much. I'm not used to reading, I'm still not used to reading it on this format. So it's taking me a while to get used to it. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I'm just not used to it. Fuck, I lost my place because I fixed the aspect ratio. Okay, I found my place. Their back and forth question and answer exchange makes Donna realize that something was wrong. The young lady asks in suspicion, Uncle Sparrow, aren't you two friends? Why does he look different from before? Klein found a chair and sat down without hiding anything. He calmly said, to be exact, he's my prisoner of war. Prisoner of war, Denton looked away in the daze, not remembering when the two uncles had a conflict. At first, Donna was puzzled, but then her heart skipped a beat. She cheerfully asked, Is he a pirate? Yeah, Klein nodded gently. The Red Skull pirates were also scared off by you, Uncle Sparrow. Dunner pressed in excitement. Klein shot a glance at Denitz and replied without expression. In a way, having all her questions answered, Donna felt abnormally pleased. She glanced at Denitz and knowingly lowered her voice. Uncle Sparrow, does he have a name? No. Does he have a bounty on him? Of course he does. No, I mustn't let anyone know of what happened to me. Denitz opened his mouth in a bid to answer before Klein. I'm Smeeg? I'm Siege. I'm Sieg. At this moment, Klein said with a fleeted voice, Denitz. Donna and Denton looked at each other without asking any more questions. They're like, no, you're not. The siblings didn't stay long and soon took their leave. They kept feeling that the pirate's eyes were fierce. When they returned to room 305, they saw that her father and Uncle Cleves were still in the midst of their discussion. Donna deliberately interjected innocently with a question. A lot of people were talking about pirates just now. Someone mentioned Denitz. Is he very powerful? Denitz, blazing Denitz. He's Vice Admiral Iceberg subordinate, the fourth boatswain of the Golden Dream, Cleves answered simply. Upon saying this, he suddenly turned silent as he retracted his gaze seemingly in recall. A pirate admiral subordinate, Dunham pressed out curiously, how much is his bounty? Cleves returned to normal and said in a deep voice, 3,000 pounds. 3,000 pounds. Donna and Denton opened their mouths little by little, almost forgetting to close them. The captain of the Red Skull Pirates only has a 900 pounds, but the man who looked like a servant is worth 3,000 pounds? Okay, so he is a servant. The siblings looked at each other, unable to utter a single word. At 6 p.m. at the Wide Gate entered a harbor again. Bansi Harbor. Ellen is very cautious. Denit stood by the window looking out at the darkened harbor of the tall lighthouse. Without waiting for Klein's response, he laughed and said, it seems like there are some nasty legends here. Alright. Servant Denitz is aura farming. He's aura farming in his own way. Yeah, I agree with that. But he's aura farming as a servant. Technically, he is aura farming as a servant. But let's do the next chapter. Yeah, dude, I feel like don't worry, let me do my time step. I feel like I'm stuttering my words more than fucking usual. I'm not used to reading on this new format. Don't worry, it's gonna take me a while. It's weird, like the aspect ratio is different, and I didn't change it off stream, but it's okay. It's not. I'm hoping it's not too bad, right? At least when it comes to reading it. But I think we're good. All right, our timestamp 13 minutes. Copy paste. Go down. What DSV really aura farming? Every time someone says servant, I just get Fate flashbacks, bro. I'm waiting for that Fate Hollow visual novel. They announced it like a year ago and it's still not out. You haven't read for a week, so it's normal. Yeah, it's true. That too. I'm gonna make the aspect ratio a little bit. I mean, the font size a little bit smaller. Let's see if this works. What the fuck? We are 37.22% done with Lord of Mysteries. Come on. That is so fucking sick. It literally tells me right here. It says 37%. Yo, that's fucking hype, dude. Look at that. We're fucking making progress in this series. Holy shit. All right, let's keep reading. Let me just kind of lower my chair a bit. Let me kind of scoot up a bit. Get a little bit closer. Let me fix my posture so it helps my reading. End of 506, when we're with Donna in restaurant, play walls closing in. Okay. End of 506, when we're with Donna in restaurant, plays wall closing in. All right, we're gonna. What the fuck, man? We're playing walls closing in way too much already. What the fuck? We've already played it twice, and we're like barely 20 chapters into this volume. That's so cool. You tell me we're gonna fight again already? All right, I'm excited. I'm fucking pumped. All right, end of this chapter. Gotta make sure that's updated. Yes, it is updated. I need to clear my voice, man. So weird. I just realized I haven't cleaned my room. Apologies. Like, all my shoes are right there. It's kind of gross. Eh, it's okay. Yo, hold up. You guys don't have to look at that. Don't look at my messy ass clothes. Look, we'll just do this. Beautiful. Now the room is clean. Or at least it's clean on stream. By the way, is this going to be another 2-hour stream? I think we're going to go for 3 hours. I think we'll go a little bit longer. Especially since I stalled for a little bit in the beginning. We can go a little bit longer. The fuck? I had it right the first time. 37. That's essentially 40%, which is pretty much 50%. So you have Guido. I love the rounding up. 37.2, pretty much 40. And if we're pretty much at 40, we're pretty much halfway. Are you still doing the 72-hour stream tomorrow? I don't know about tomorrow. Can someone tell me where's he in? We're at 506. We're at 506. Oh, are you new? Zemo? Verdu? You know what? Hold up. Unironically, I might be able to stream pretty long. Sometime between Friday to Monday. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I think I'm gonna ask to take it off. So I'm gonna see if I can get Memorial Day off for free. The fuck, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna see if I can get Memorial Day off for free. I'm gonna see if I don't work Memorial Day. And if that doesn't work, then if I don't work on Monday, I can probably stream a little bit longer. Sometime between Friday to Monday. So we make up for lost time. Or if I don't work on Monday, we stream a lot earlier and we go as long as we can. Hi, welcome newcomer. Yeah, I know. Nito, really just new for the... Oh, this is your first time speaking. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Dude, thank you, man. What's up? Yeah, 506. I don't care if you can stream long, but if you do, don't rush the lore, I beg. No, we won't rush the lores. Guys, he confirmed that he's streaming Friday to Monday, 56 fucking hours. Now that's a wild bet. Start spreading it on the forums. That way more people join. And then I'll be like, I didn't say that. Unhinged said that. Hi, guys. It's been a while. Hey, what's up, King? Oh, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah, it has been a while, King Godzilla. All right. It's been so long. We're at chapter 506. Fuck, man. So 4 cosplays when? 4s. When do we say 4s? Hey, hold up. All right. I bought a suit. I do have a suit. I just just to get you guys a little excited. I bought a suit. No, it's not like a black suit, but you know, I bought a suit for other reasons, but we can use it on stream here and there. What? No, I had to buy a suit for a separate reason, but I will use it on stream. We're not excited by a dress and not made the Nits cosplay. All right, we'll see. We'll see which cosplay comes first. All right, chapter 506 is called The Weather Museum. Klein already had a basic understanding of the Nits character, so he didn't take the initiative to ask about the legends. He continued sitting in his chair and calmly looked at him. The Nits, who had been interrupted, shook his head. Legend has it that 300 years ago, when the Loan army first occupied this island, more than 500 soldiers mysteriously disappeared after a fog. Not long after that, a lot of bones appeared by the beach and on the mountain, and similar incidents happened several times. This continued until the Church of Storms built a cathedral here and sent a bishop. What? Although historians accredited the official start of the colonial era when Roselle sent a fleet to find a safe route to the southern continent, in reality, for a long period of time before that, the countries of the northern continent had explored the surrounding seas and gradually colonized a few islands. The only difference was that these opportunities weren't systematic or wide-scaled enough. Okay, so it was like a few people here and there. Disappearing mysterious in the fog, bones appearing by the beach on the mountains. Klein thought of the forsaken lands of gods for some baffling reason. According to Little Sun's description, there was no sun there. Oh, with only lightning and the night. Furthermore, when humans were surrounded by darkness without a sliver of light, they would encounter strange or terrifying events. Looking at the lighthouse that stood in the setting sun, the Nits continued, and according to the tombs and murals excavated on the island, the natives here seem to have a tradition of cannibalism. I'm sorry, was this like a Beyonder island? This island experiences intense weather changes, making it often encounter earthquakes, storms, and heavy fog. Thus, the natives experienced disasters time and time again. In order to survive, they began worshipping a god of weather they created for themselves. They created one themselves, so it's like an evil deity. Every year, they would hold 4 rituals. How the rituals involved killing chosen worshippers as they shared in the blood and flesh before burying the worshipper's head in the sacrificial altar. However, similar tradition had long since been replaced by the storm sacrificial ritual, and the original language of the natives had also disappeared. God of Weather, a conquered island that had once retained the traditions of live sacrifices, Klein made his preliminary judgment. Dennis retracted his gaze and casually said, because of the legends, there are 2 unique customs in Bansi Harbor. One is to close the door tightly on the nights with heavy fog or huge changes in weather. They don't head out or respond to any knocking. The other is that they love the blood of all kinds of animals and have learned from migrating elves to add salt, solidifying the blood into strange lumps, which are tender and fragrant when matched with... This is... Ugh. When matched with acidic condiments native to the land. Isn't that blood cake? Do not respond to the knocking. Isn't that blood cake? Like, what is this? Like the movie Sinners, where like you gotta give them entry, or like you have to give them permission? Klein was stunned for a second. His eyebrows frowned in puzzlement. Elves. Oh wait, what the fuck? We're getting elves. What? According to the stereotypes, wait, we're getting elves. According to the stereotypes he had formed in his previous life, elves are like, these are like, elves in this series aren't like Santa Claus's helpers in the North Pole. Like, they're crazy, vicious elves. Like, what the fuck is this? I thought we were like gonna get like happy elves, like Lord of the Rings elves, you know? So we're getting crazy ass evil elves. According to the stereotypes he had formed in his previous life, elves were supposed to be elegant vegetarians. Elves were supposed to be elegant vegetarians. How do you come up with that stereotype? How could they research the correct method for eating blood as well as 100 methods involved in making blood cakes? That's right, rumor has it that many elves like solidified blood. The net spread out his hands in response. Unfortunately, it's already very difficult to find such creatures who have good culinary skills. Little Son previously mentioned that the ancient god of the elves, Elf King Sonathrin, wielded the authority of the storm. Oh, the ancient god. Oh. In that case, the elves should be a race equivalent to Beyonders of the Sailor Pathway, huh? So it's not inconceivable that the elves enjoy blood-related food. Perhaps, ooh, that's why they're knocking on the door. Oh, and then the fog came in and the elves just kidnapped everybody that was outside. Oh, and then they ate them like out at sea, and because they were so close to the shoreline, all the bones washed up. Ugh, elves are fucking wild in this series. Ugh. It's been a while. Oh, wait, hold on. I lost my place. Ugh. It's fucking gross. And he gradually turned his attention to blood cakes. It's been a while since I ate that. He suddenly had the urge to alight from the ship and taste delicacy. At this moment, the Nits took the initiative to suggest, there's a green lemon restaurant here that's very famous. Pig blood is especially delicious. Do you want to try it? Do you want to try it out? Huh. Klein looked at the gold coin in his hand without moving his eyes and away for a few seconds. He still felt uneasy. As the Nits watched the scene, he suddenly understood that this monster in front of him was skilled in divination. Even if I were to secretly flee, it would still be very easy for him to find me. He's like, I can't escape him. Blazing, yeah, blood cake. Ugh. We should like cook a red cake on stream, right? Blazing felt a wave of depression as a faint sadness welled up in his heart. He had just recovered from his disconsolate mood when Klein suddenly stood up and walked over to the washroom. I think I butchered that word. Before closing the door, Klein expressively turned his head around and said, "You can use this opportunity to escape." With that, Klein slammed the washroom's door. The Nit spread his hands open and clenched them tightly. What? With that, Klein slammed the washroom's door. I'm sorry. There's nothing to laugh here. Hold up. The Nit spread his hand open and clenched them tightly. Took 2 steps towards the door before coming to a halt. Sorry. I was thinking something else was about to happen. I was like, what the fuck? The unknown was scarce. He didn't dare to take the risk of creating conflict before he had any clear understanding of German Sparrow's beyond her powers. At least he's kind enough to me and hasn't actually hurt me. He'll likely let me go when we're at Bayham. The Nits hoped of him getting lucky and had taken hold of his mind. The door for the Divine Kingdom. In the washroom, Klein pulled out a paper figurine, disguised it, and took 4 steps counterclockwise to head above the gray fog. He sat down at the end of the long bronze table, removed the pendulum from his left wrist, and wrote the corresponding divination statement. There's danger dormant in Banshee Harbor. He hung his spare pendulum and adjusted his posture. After muttering a few times, Klein opened his eyes and saw the topaz pendant rotating clockwise. So yes. Furthermore, it was at a high amplitude. Ooh, high danger. It was at a high amplitude and frequency. This meant that for Klein, there was great danger lurking in Banshee Harbor. I'm sorry, are we fighting art? Denitz is hoping to get lucky. Hey, I didn't say anything. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So it looks like we're going to fight an elf. At the end of this fucking chapter. Because you did say to get walls closing in ready. This meant that for Klein, there was a great danger lurking in Banshee Harbor. How could this be? This place was colonized by the kingdom for more than 300 years, and it has become an important port for the main trading routes for over 100 years. There have never been any rumors of danger being spread. Could it be that several powerful pirates are cooperating to sack this port? No, those cannon defending the ports aren't for show. Klein frowned, performing another divination on whether he would encounter any pirate-related mishaps, but the answer was no, so it's not a pirate. Huh. He fell silent for a few seconds, then he allowed his spirituality to envelop his body before plummeting through the gray fog. Returning to the real world, Klein pressed the mechanical button on the toilet. I'm sorry, they have mechanical buttons? Oh, it's a modern-day toilet. Why have I been thinking there weren't buttons on toilets in Lord of Mysteries? There weren't. Battle of the Five Armies? We'll see. Wait, what do you mean? When was this? Blood tofu is pretty good, not gonna lie. Y'all sleep for real? We'll look into it. Returning from the real world, Klein pressed a mechanical button on the toilet, put away the paper figurine double, and went to the nearby washing basin to wet his hands in water. In this short period of time, he quickly sorted out his thoughts and decided to do what's best. His priority was to stay safe. Pulling out a tissue and wiping his hands, Klein opened the door and saw that Denitz was still standing in the middle of the living room. A pirate who is cautious to the point of being a little cowardly, and he sends Vice Admiral Iceberg's subordinates are all adventurers who are part-time pirates. They're all adventurers who are part-time pirates. Klein looked at him and calmly said, "To the first-class dining room." All right, Denitz didn't understand why German Sparrow had suddenly changed his mind, but in the end, he chose to not raise any disputes. Walking down the gangway, you saw Rizal made toilets. You know, I remember he made the golden modern day toilet. I didn't. Oh, well, you know what? Hold up. If they colonize the island, then I guess they would make sense that they bring modernized toiletry. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, Denitz didn't understand why German, and I read this. Walking down the gangway, Cleves suddenly said to Donna and the others, "Head to the Great Lemon Restaurant first. I have some matters to do with Captain Elend. I'll join you soon." All right, although Erdy Branch was surprised, he wasn't too puzzled. Cleves was halfway aboard the ship when he met Ellen with his straight sword at his waist. "I'm going to visit German Sparrow." Cleves turned around for the first-class cabins after saying that. Ellen was momentarily dazed, unable to understand his out-of-the-blue intentions. "There's no need to inform me that you're visiting German Sparrow." Ellen was startled for 2 seconds before he vaguely grasped the true meaning behind Cleves' words. "He's telling me so that if anything happens to him, it would be because of his visit to German Sparrow. But if nothing happens to him, it means that his suspicions were incorrect and there's no need to further disturb German Sparrow any further." Okay. Ellen stopped in his footsteps and said in the first mate beside him, "Wait 15 minutes. Thump, thump, thump." Klein and Denitz, who were on their way out, heard a rhythmic knock on the door. Denitz, who received a signal, hurried over and opened the door. It was Cleves outside. He looked at Denitz, who was disguising himself again, before turning to Klein and said, "Blazing Denitz." Why did he say that? At lunchtime, he had found Gerben Sparrow's friend somewhat odd and familiar, but he hadn't connected the face to the picture of the bounty notice. It was only when Donna mentioned Denitz that the inspiration struck him, making him realize that the two were very similar. As expected, Klein was about to nod an answer when Denitz said with a laugh, "My friend, you have the wrong person. Although I like the famous pirate who's worth 3,000 pounds, I'm really not him. People have always had misunderstandings, bringing me a great deal of trouble." Klein raised his hand and covered his mouth. He almost laughed out loud and destroyed his persona. He almost broke character. He restrained his expression and Klein replied, "Yes. Sigh, my reputation." Denitz stretched his neck and looked at the ceiling. I fucking love this character. "Hey, how are you? First time chatter. Aesthetic Anime 91. I'm doing good. How you doing, man? Thank you. Thank you for your first chat. Watching over. I lost my place as I'm saying that. My reputation. What are you two planning?" Cleves drew in a silent breath and asked directly. Klein jerked his chin towards the Denitz, watching over him. Watching over. Cleves couldn't understand German Sparrow's words. "Sir, you must learn to make associations by yourself." I don't know why Sylvester's playing. And White Lady. Let's just play this. Those tracks do not fit this conversation. Watching over, Clives couldn't understand German Sparrow's words. Sir, you must learn to make associations by yourself. Learn to infer on your own. You can't have me explain in detail. This doesn't match my persona. Confronted with a doubtful look in Cleve's eyes, Klein casually said, he boarded the Demir Harbor and I recognized him, so I decided to watch him over to prevent any accidents. Oh, look at him. He's being nice. After looking at Klein for a few seconds, Cleves nodded his head and said, will you be fine? Do you need any help? No, Klein replied quietly. Cleves glanced at the depressed Nitz and took a step back. Then I'll take my leave. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly stopped by German Sparrow. He heard the mysterious young adventurer say, with some solemnity, return to your ship as soon as possible. Return to the ship as soon as possible? The Nitz rep as a pirate is taking a hit, and his rep as a servant started to rise. You know what? Yeah. At least while one goes down, the other goes up. There's danger dormant in Bansi Harbor. And the Green Lemon Restaurant, Donna... Wait, sorry, do I play it now? Cammy. In the Green Lemon Restaurant, Donna had just laid out her napkin when she saw through the window that Uncle Cleves had arrived hurriedly downstairs. At this moment, the weather in the port suddenly changed. Oh, yeah, we got to play it now. Yeah, we got to play it now. Yep. All right, we got to pause Alicia. We'll resume Alicia later. Oh, yeah. I read the next line. The weather is changing. Oh, they're definitely going to hear knocking. Some fucking nasty ass little elves. Hey, you hold up. If there's any fan art of elves, you guys gotta send it our way, so we can make that our thumbnail. All right, let me just lower the volume a bit. Are you guys ready? Let's loop this bitch. All right, the song is looped. All right, it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. At the Green Lemon Restaurant, Donna had just laid on her napkin when she saw through the window that Uncle Cleves had arrived hurriedly downstairs. At this moment, the weather in the port suddenly changed. Strong gales rose up from all directions, causing the trees to sway back and forth. It's going down. Oh, it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. There's going to be an elf knocking on the door, right? As expected of Bansi Harbor, the Weather Museum, Donna studied the outside scenery with interest. She saw... Oh! This is somebody else. She saw a man in a black coat trudging through the wind with a lantern in his hand. Seemingly sensing that he was being watched, the person turned his body sideways and looked at the second floor of the restaurant. Then Donna discerned his appearance and saw that the area where the person's head was supposed to be was empty inside the black coat. Oh, it's an elf! There was only a bare neck with bright red blood. I'm sorry, did he take his head? There was only a bare neck with bright red blood spewing out from it. The person slunk his body back down, pulled his cloak before continuing forward. Wait, what? Bro, wait, what just happened? What was, wait, was that an elf? Or then an elf just take a random dude's head? wait, what just happened, dude? Hold up. Timestamp. Wait, hold up. Hi, everyone. Don't know, but I love my perfect timing. That was a perfect time. It's a polite elf. He takes his head off. Oh, let's find out. What the fuck just happened? I can't tell if the fucking elf just beheaded someone. Or, I don't, that was so fucking weird. All right, next chapter. Hold up. I can't fucking copy and paste for the life of me. Holy shit. Copy, paste. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna make the font a little bit smaller because I was able to read that. All right, we made the font. Just no spoilers about elves. Oh, yeah, hold up. No elf spoilers. Hold up. We actually don't know anything about elves yet. Hold up. Let me update this so we don't forget. All right, 507. We got to make sure we don't forget this time. All right. The music is a little loud for me. Bear with me for 1 second. I can't have it that loud. I actually can't have the music that loud, at least on my end. He didn't have a hat take off, so it's his head. Can't wait for you to get to the full... Well, hold up. I don't know to what part, Mick. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I'm excited to get to whatever part that is. You're excited for the fullest part? I didn't read the whole thing. I stopped reading it just in case, but I'm excited for that part. I'm also excited for that part. I'm also excited. All right, chapter 507, Bansi Harbor in the Wind. Donna jerked back, her pupils constricted, her mouth half open as her screams reached her lips. If she hadn't seen the messenger before, then she would have long lost out of herself and staggered to her feet in terror, unconcerned whether she would have flipped over the tables or chairs. Fortunately, she was no longer the young lady who was completely ignorant of this matter of the sea when she first bore the Whitegate. Her voice had only become slightly sharper as she pointed outside the window and stammered, "There's a zombie, a headless zombie." She used the most commonly seen zombie in folklore to describe the terrifying thing she had just seen. Cecile shook shot to her feet and rushed to Donna's side. She looked curiously out the window where the raging wind was blowing and observed for a few seconds. There's nothing, she said truthfully. Donna shrank back, mustered her courage, and cautiously leaned forward, only to see the trees outside swaying with random cluttering flying everywhere. There wasn't a single pedestrian. Hold up. The music is a little low. And I lost my place. There's nothing, she said truthfully. Donna shrank back, mustered courage, and cautiously leaned forward, only to see... I just read this. There really was someone there. He was wearing a black coat, and he had no head. His neck was bleeding. Donna said... I don't know if that was the elf or not. His neck was bleeding. Well, let me read this description. He was wearing a black coat, and he had no head. He was bleeding. His neck was bleeding. Donna said while gesturing in an attempt to convince the adults in the room. Her father, Udi Branch, propped himself up from the table when the window and looked out for a moment. Donna, you aren't allowed to read the Foen's Horror Stories anthology anymore. Romero, welcome to... You hit level 1? Dude, thank you. Did its head... So no... Username. He definitely did not... He does not have his head. No. He does not have... He is headless. But Donna felt But Donna felt... I can't read. That was such a funny response. Thank you. By the way, Romero, thank you, dude. But Donna felt aggrieved and wanted to defend herself. At this moment, Cleves came to the second floor and approached, asking what happened. Donna said she saw a zombie, headless zombie. The other bodyguard, Teague, explained with a chuckle. Cleves was silent for 2 seconds, then he nodded at Donna. It's okay, this shall pass. The wind outside is very strong and dangerous. We'll leave when things calm down. In the eyes of Donna, Uncle Cleves' words indicated that he believed her and had chosen the safest solution. But in the eyes of Udi, Teague, and the others, this was merely a clumsy tactic to comfort a child. Seeing that Donna was still a little nervous that this real employer wasn't too satisfied, Cleves pulled out a chair and sat down as he calmly said, there's a strange tradition in Banshee Harbor. They don't leave the buildings to respond to any knocks on the door when the weather turns stormy at night. If you open the door, you will be taken away by the zombie. Denton suddenly asked in light, so it's clearly not a zombie. It's the elf. Having seen the messenger with his sister, you can think of it that way. Cleves picked up a glass of water and took one sip. So that's how it is. Donna calmed down, believing that she would encounter the horrible zombie as long as she didn't leave the restaurant. It was only then that she noticed the surrounding customers had all cast their gazes over due to the commotion. Being stared by so many people, Donna felt uncomfortable from her head to toe. She instinctively wanted to lower her head to avoid everything. I didn't do anything wrong. I really saw it. Donna obstinately straightened her neck and looked around. She saw the gentlemen in tailcoats and the ladies in beautiful dresses retract their gazes. She saw them lower their heads, pick up their spoons, and scoop the dark red blood blocks in their bowls to stuff it into their mouths. Their lips were stained with a tinge of red. Their faces... Wait. Praise the lady. Hold up. Their lips were... What if all the people right now in the room are like elves? Their lips were stained with a tinge of red. Their faces appeared paler under the light of the crystal chandelier. Oh my god, I can't read. The contrast between the two made Donna feel an inexplicable sense of fear. She turned her head back and waited for dinner, secretly praying to the goddess that the gale would cease as soon as possible. Banshee Harbor Telegraph Office. As soon as Ellen and his first mate finished sending the report to the Navy, they realized that the wind outside was howling and that the nearby doors and windows were rattling. Really, the weather here is always so unstable. Ellen put on his boat-shaped hat and sighed with a laugh. His first mate, Harris, laughed out loud. Otherwise, how could they call themselves the Weather Museum? That's funny. It's best if you don't head out. Legends say that you'll lose your head because of that. The telegraph office staff, a young lady with curly brown hair, reminded them in a slow voice. I know, but I've tried a few times and nothing happened. Without a care, Harris opened the door to leave. Oh, that's not good. Ellen stopped him and thought for a moment. Will it be okay to go to the cathedral next door? Oh, yeah, no, it's not good. Your telegraph office will be closing, right? No problem. The lady with the curly brown hair was still as slow as ever. Ellen nodded, opened the telegraph office door, and trudged towards the storm cathedral. Ooh, dozens of meters away, he ain't gonna make it. Against the gusts of winds that seemed to be capable of sweeping away a child, First Mate Harris, who was holding onto his hat, followed the captain as to express the desire to rush directly back to Whitegate. However, the moment he opened his mouth, strong gales gushed into his mouth, and his whole voice was miserably stuffed back into his mouth. After croaking for a while, he wisely stuffed his mouth and stopped making obvious, unrealistic proposals. It was still 15 minutes to 7, and even in the evening, the main doors of the Storm Cathedral were still open for its congregation. The gale weakened significantly when it reached the area. At very least, Ellen and Harris no longer had to worry about their hats abandoning them. Upon entering the cathedral, they walked down the dark and solemn aisles. They stepped into the prayer hall and saw that a man in a dark blue priest robe sitting in front view. He was quietly gazing at the huge storm sacred emblem made up of the symbols of the wind, waves, and lightning on the altar. Ellen smiled as he moved closer, panting the familiar figure on the shoulder. Jace, where's your bishop? With that pat, the priest's head wobbled. Wait, no, wait. No way they took him out. Oh, because the door was open. That sounds like a bomb meal. That sounds like a good meal. Should get easy to add more ones that are already in Discord. Wait, add more what? Wait, let me drink some water. 2 a.m. KFC. Yo, man, that sounds like it hits the spot. Wait, Romero, we barely have any emojis and only the pog is very good. One, really? Oh! Wait, hold up. You know what? We can get more emojis. I actually can't get more emojis unless we have more members. It doesn't... I think at 20 members, I was able to add more emojis. Oh no, what the fuck? I think it has to be... I have to look into it. I'm actually unable to add more emojis until it says more members. We can swap them out though and improve some. We probably could, yeah? So you know what? That could be a good... You know what? So let's do that. So we can also get more emojis. They need the background. These need background removing. Oh, to just make it look like the other one. I just checked 90% of YouTube recommended videos are LOTM, Dexter, Elden Ring, and Breaking Bad. Yo, that's sick, Unhinged. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's keep reading. But yeah, I actually can't add more emojis unless there's more members. I'll see how many members we need for the... like the next tier of adding emojis. I'll see. I'll double check. I'll get back to you. So we probably will make maybe the VODs members only for 1 week, just to see if maybe that like tells people like, oh, maybe we should be more members and then get more emojis. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. I feel weird saying that. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll double check. I'll double check off stream. All right. Upon entering, well, I read this part. So he's dead. Ah, that's so gross, dude. These elves are scummy, dude. Ellen smiled as he moved closer, putting the familiar figure on the shoulder. Jace, where's your bishop? With that pat, the priest's head wobbled. Then it fell forward, and with a loud thud, it fell to the ground, continuously rolling about. Blood gushed out the priest's neck like a fountain, soaking Ellen's face. A cold and damp feeling reached his heart, and Ellen's eyes were blinded with rich red color. All that was left in his line of sight was a world of blood, as well as a head that had finally stopped rolling and was starting upwards with a glazed look in its eyes. Ugh, that's freaking gross. You know what? I guess, yeah, that too, Unhinged. Thank you. At 7:50 p.m., Klein and the Nets who came out of the first-class restaurant noticed that the wind, which had been shaking the boat, had calmed down considerably. After thinking about it for 2 seconds, Klein walked all the way to the entrance of the cabin and asked the crew, who else isn't back? The crew member had seen this passenger enjoy the delicious Murloc meal with the captain, so he didn't hide anything, as he said. Other than the Branch family... Oh, they're still out. This mystery is making people lose their head. No pun intended. This mystery. The crew member had seen this passenger enjoy the delicacies Murloc meat, which was with the captain, so he didn't hide anything, as he said. Other than the Branch family and the Timothy family and the Green Lemon restaurant, all the other passengers had returned before the gale started. Heh, this place is quite far away, and it also takes quite a long time to dine there. All right, captain and first mate went to the telegraph office, but they haven't returned yet. Klein nodded indescribably and returned to room 312 in silence. He stood by the window, looked at the waves that were stirred by the wind. Even without using the mysterious space of the gray fog to divine, his own spiritual intuition made him vaguely sense that something bad was brewing and happening. After waiting another 5 minutes, he still didn't see Captain Ellen and Donna's family return. Klein glanced at it. It's over for them, right? At least for the Donna family. Klein glanced sideways at the Nits, making the famous pirate slouching in the reclining chair sit up straight. Klein looked away, said nothing, and went into the washroom. He closed the door behind him, took out the paper figurine, disguised himself, and went above the gray fog, ready to make another divination. Before, he had considered potential risk of the Banshee Harbor, but now, after the wind had picked up, he intended to confirm the current level of danger. Banshee Harbor is dangerous. Klein held the spirit pendulum and began to recite the statement in a low voice. After repeating this over and over again, he opened his eyes and discovered that although the topaz pendant was rotating clockwise, it wasn't spinning at a fast frequency or with large amplitude. So it's safe. There's danger, but it's within acceptable limits. This is in contradiction to the revelation from before. Klein whispered to himself as he... Yeah, that's true. I said it was doing it a lot earlier. Now it's like whatever's. Klein whispered to himself as he leaned his elbows on the edge of the long bronze table. He quickly thought of one possibility, and that was that the current danger wasn't equal to the the current danger wasn't equal to the dormant danger. Only by triggering something or investigating thoroughly will the iceberg hidden beneath the sea appear. This dormant danger might have existed for 300 or 400 years, or perhaps even longer, and not because of my arrival, The current danger might even have nothing to do with the dormant danger. It's a pity that I don't have the necessary information to make a divination based on the conjecture. After interpreting it, Klein quickly returned to the real world, left the rostrum, and found a chair to sit on. He was silent, hesitant, and didn't move for a long time, which made Blazing the Knits feel strangely uneasy. Ever since German Sparrow mentioned that there was danger lurking at Banshee Harbor, this infamous pirate had been constantly worried. To be able to make this monster change his mind and avoid the danger at a Green Lemon restaurant, it must be very terrifying. Why is my vacation so miserable? I'm plagued with bad luck. The atmosphere was so stifling that the Knits had to get up and pace back and forth. It was then that he saw a monster German Sparrow suddenly stand up, button his double-breasted frock coat, and walk over to the coat rack by the door. After taking his silk hat, Klein looked at the blazing sun and said without any expression, "You're free." Huh? The Knits only found it unreal. He suddenly understood what the monster was thinking of doing, and he blared on shock. "You want to save the captain and those ordinary people? You were the one who said it's dangerous outside." Klein put on his half-top hat, picked up the black wooden cane, twisted the door handle, and replied calmly, "They cooperated with me. They kept my secret for me. He treated me to murloc me. He helped me pay compensation for White Shark's loss." Oh, dude, it's so cool. Dude, if the Knits joins Klein... Oh, hell, not Klein. If the Knits joins Mr. Bloodborne, he has to join the crew. He has to join Gurman's crew. It has to be. Like, Klein has to make his own crew at some point in this volume, and the Knits has to be like his vice admiral. Like, that has to happen. I'll be so mad if that doesn't happen. Like, he has to be like his helmsman, right? Like, he has to be like his vice captain. That has to happen. I want this. I want this double to continue now. I'm all for it. Well, let's see what happens. The Knits didn't retract for a moment. Subconsciously, he asked, "How much was the compensation?" A few solely. Klein opened the door and walked. Damn. How much was the compensation? A few solely. Klein opened the door and walked out. "Madam, this fellow is completely mad. Be it his treatment to others himself, he's a madman." The Knit's mouth was half open and he felt speechless. "Luckily, I'm a normal person. I'll stay in a safe place." The Knit retracted his gaze and thought in mockery and amusement. Just as this thought came to him, the wind howled again, rattling the winds and causing the candles of the room to flicker. Looking at the dark and turbulent scene, the Knit suddenly thought of a problem. The ship is anchored in the harbor, which... so he has to go with him. The ship is, we need our captain, right? The ship is anchored in the harbor, which was also part of the Banshee Harbor. It's not safe either, and it could also be in danger. If I were to stay here on my own, then I might as well follow that monster. At least he's very strong. He ran out of room 312 and caught up with Klein. Just say he was about to leave the cabin. Dude, the Knits is the go. Nah, he's just trying to justify his reason for following him to save them. Come on, dude. Klein turned his head to glance at him. Although he didn't say anything, his puzzlement was very evident. The Knits can be smart sometimes. That's true. But, dude, I love this duo already. I love their chemistry. The Knits hurriedly laughed. "If I were to choose to retreat in the face of such trivial risks, I'll be mocked by all pirates of the Stony Sea." An excuse, without exposing him, Klein borrowed a lantern from the crew, carrying the dim yellow lantern and holding his hand wooden cane. He walked alongside the boat and entered the dim port in the black suit. As the Knits lamented, he followed closely beside him. Oh, I finished the chapter. That was it. I said there was another page, but the next page is blank. Okay, as the Knits lamented, he followed closely beside him. That was a good chapter. I'm gonna just say this. I think the Knits is gonna join Klein, right? But when the Knits captain finds out, she's gonna want to claim the Knits back and say, like, no, he's with me. Like, he's my pirate. Like, he's on my crew. But then the Knits is gonna see Gurman Sparrow, and she's gonna fall in love with him. Just like everybody else in the community has fallen in love with Gurman Sparrow. Like unironically, the Knits' captain would be making fan art of Mr. Gurman Sparrow. And she's gonna be like, you know what? If the Knits joins your crew, I'm gonna join your crew. And I can see that happening. And it'd be pretty funny if that happens. But for now, next chapter. Bruh, I think that'd be a funny turn of events. This isn't a trash harem. No, I don't mean it as a harem isekai. I just mean it as like, she really likes Mr. Bloodborne, and she's like, I want to join this crazy madman on an adventure. Bro's cooking. I think I was cooking a pretty good something. And I don't mean it as him building up a harem. I just mean there's gonna be this crazy captain out at sea that's vicious and scary, but she's in love with Gurman Sparrow. And that's the only way she justifies letting the Nits join his crew if she also joins the crew. Come on. You guys are deleting a lot of messages. Hold up. I'm seeing like 3 unsent messages. I might be onto something. You guys aren't confirming anything, but Gurman kind of rhymes with harem. Not really. I can see that. All I know is you guys are sending a lot of messages. I might be onto something. But for now, next chapter. That'd be so fucking funny though if that happens. Like, you can't fucking take the Nits. Who wants the Nits? And then she sees him and she's like, Gurman, he's so hot. He's so cool. I want to join his crew. What the fuck? And then she abolishes her whole pirate crew to join Klein. That'd be fucking funny. All right, let's get rid of it. It's an unrelated discussion. Okay. Someone was spoiling heavily. Oh shit. Okay. If you mispronounced this, okay. Sorry for the. Okay, yeah, my bad. No, it's okay. Sorry, we get a little excited sometimes, and we can spoil things. I'm a bit impatient for the next chapter. Okay, sorry, I kept you guys waiting. Next chapter. Let's update this. You guys ready? Chapter 508. It's called Don't Go Out. All right. This is sick. Ooh. Unlike mainland cities such as Backlund, Tigan, and Prince Harbor, colonial islands such as Bansi Harbor lacked gas. The lamps lining the 2 sides of the streets were sparse. They had candles, cages, and glass waiting to be lit. Unfortunately, the wind had picked up earlier, so not one went out in the evening. The candles didn't shine in the predetermined time, and the road was pitch black. The faint outline of the crimson moon shone through the clouds. Compared to before, the wind was much calmer. At the very least, Klein didn't need to be distracted and kept his hat on. The thin fog gradually pervaded the air, and the doors and the windows of the mainly 2-story houses were shut tightly. It was pitch black and devoid of any light, as though no one had lived in this area for a long time. This sounds like a good fight. Red is just a theory? Dude, this is going to be a good fight. Ooh, it's going to be a good fight, huh, guys? The thin fog gradually pervaded the air, and the doors and windows of the main... I just read this paragraph, my bad. With a yellow lantern in one hand and a hard wooden cane in the other hand, Klein walked quickly down the quiet street in the direction of the Green Lemon restaurant, which Blazed and the Nits had pointed out. Whoosh. Amidst the fog, the wind began to swirl, and Klein felt a baffling chill down his neck. He lifted his right hand, which held the cane, and propped up the collar of his double-breasted frock coat, completely covering his neck. It was at this moment that a scene suddenly appeared in his mind. In the scene, a black shadow the size of a watermelon appeared from the fog, and... What? The size of a watermelon appeared from the fog and lunged from his ear. Without thinking, Klein swung his arm and forearm and struck out with his cane. Bam. Just as the black shadow came close, it was struck head-on and sent flying a long distance away. With the help of the lantern's light, Klein finally recognized that the thing had attacked him. It was a head? Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad of me. Yeah, I messed that one up. It was a head. It was a head that had lost its body, a head that had its esophagus hanging down. Ugh! The head floated in midair, its face resembling dried cheese with mildew and all over it. There was a yellowish green liquid flowing down in the skin as it outlined the face contours. There were only 2 black holes left where its nose was supposed to be. Its bulging eyes were mostly white without much black. Its lips were mostly rotten, revealing sharpened teeth mixed with blood. The fact that we're getting this many fights already in Volume 3. Wait, why does it say dog shit? Blazing the Nits silently cursed when he saw this scene, his heart trembling. Even though he had embarked on many treasure hunts and had fought many monsters, such a disgusting and horrifying thing was still rare. At this point in time, a classic revolver had appeared in his hand, and he was about to fire it with his elbow held down. At this moment, he saw a pure ray of light descend from the sky, landing in some stiff head. A blood-curdled screech rang out and the shriveled and hideous head was quickly vaporizing before dissolving into ashes. It didn't leave a single trace behind. How weak, the Nit subconsciously commented. Is this monster German Sparrow from the Sun Pathway? Doesn't look like it. He likely relied on what should be some sort of mystical item. I didn't even realize it just now, but German Sparrow had already discovered the enemy and attacked. He really is very strong. The Nits quickly turned the attention to something else. Yeah, this is good, dude. Just as his thoughts were settling down, he saw a similar head fly out from the fog to the side of the corner of his eye. It was trying to bite his neck. Bang. Oh, I scrolled down too much. The Nits calmly pulled the trigger. The brass bullet accurately hit the head covered in mold, shattering the head glabella as if it fell backwards and stopped in midair. Soon after, a crimson ball quickly expanded above the Nits' empty left palm, and a fiery light began to swirl. He leaned forward and dragged his arm before throwing the fireball, causing it to crash in the stiff head. Flame soared up and the head burned. The skin on the head quickly charred, emanating a sizzling sound. However, it lunged forward and a mouth wide open, ready to bite the Nit's neck as though it wasn't affected. This turn of events was somewhat out of the Nit's expectation. He only failed to dodge it in time and hurriedly rolled forward, barely dodging fatal damage. A bright scarlet color appeared on his left palm once again, but the flame didn't expand this time. Instead, it shrunk layer by layer. Within a second, the Nit threw out the orange fireball, which was only the size of an eye, while dodging. The fireball was controlled by his spirituality. It drew an arc in the air and accurately flew its mouth into shriveled head. Boom. The fiery light flashed and the explosion splintered the flying head from inside out. Countless pieces of it along with its blood splashed everywhere. That's so gross, dude. Here's your fireball. Yeah. Unironically, Kemi, that was the fireball that I wish Klein had. But he had such a crazy-ass level up when he became a magician. And all I was asking for was a fireball, but this is our fireball. I finally finished it. The Nits rolled to his feet and breathed a sigh of relief. Only then did he realize that this monster, which only had a head, wasn't easy to deal with. Yet German Sparrow had killed one with ease. It's mainly because the Beyonder powers in the Sun Domain restrained such things, the Nits added scornfully in his heart. As he thought of this, he turned his head to the side and realized that German Sparrow hadn't waited for him. He just left him. With his cane and lantern, he was jogging in the distance, his black coat fluttering behind him slightly. Dog shit, wait for me, wait for me. The Nits pupils contracted as he widened his space to chase after the man. He didn't dare to stay on his own. He's so funny, dude. He didn't dare to stay on his own in the thin fog and dim surroundings. Inside the Green Lemon restaurant, Donna looked at the white porcelain bowl in front of her and the dark red blood cakes in it. She thought of the strange horror she felt seeing the customers eating just now, as well as the blood oozing out of the headless cloaked man's neck. Her throat moved as she almost vomited. Donna decided to give up the delicacy, even though the fragrance had already seeped into her nose. She ate some salad and mashed potatoes without much thought and waited for the wind outside to die down. She felt the clock on the wall moving ever so slowly. Time passed by the second. The customers in the table paid their bills and left the second floor. The second floor became quieter and quieter, and it turned emptier and emptier. Thud, thud, thud. Thunna felt the sound of the feet of the wooden steps as they descended were frustrating. Finally, she noticed that the trees outside were no longer swaying, and the ground was littered with all sorts of junk. The wind stopped. Donna said, pointing excitedly at the window. Her father, an import and export merchant, Rudy Branch, pinched his forehead and growled, "Where's your table manners, Donna?" But just as Donna was about to argue, Cleves raised his palm and pressed it down. It's 7:40 p.m. and we're almost done with dinner. Let's head back as soon as possible. There are many nasty legends about the nights in Bansi Harbor. Bansi? I said it right. Bansi Harbor? Every merchant who depended on the sea for a living was more or less superstitious, especially when it came to the legends of the natives. Therefore, Erdy fell silent and agreed with Cleves' suggestion. He quickly foot the bill and led his family and bodyguards down the first floor. Cleves was about to open the door to find his way when a creaking sound came from a nearby room. Donna almost screamed out in fright and gripped Denton's hand tightly. A figure walked out a glance at them and calmly said, "It's fogged up. It's best not to go out." The figure wore a black tailcoat without a hat. There was a pair of glasses on the bridge of his nose. His face... Glass... Oh, I thought it was a monocule. Hold up. It's not a monocule. Hold up. I thought it was a guy with a monocule, dude. I was about to freak out. There was a pair of glasses on the bridge of his nose. His face was fleshy and almost... His face was fleshy. Like chubby cheeks? Is that what they meant? And almost circular. "What are you trying to convey, Mr. Fox?" Cleves recognized him at the owner of the Green Lemon restaurant. Fox said without much of an expression, "In Bansi, during the nights when the fog and weather drastically change, it's best not to go out or respond to any knockings. Otherwise, one might encounter bad things." The more Donna listened, the more scared she became. She loudly empathized. "People have already left ahead of us. Fox pointed to the rooms on the first floor. They chose to say creak thud. As soon as Fox's voice fell, the doors to the various rooms opened either softly or heavily. The gentlemen and ladies from before came to the doors and quietly watched Donna and her family, who were considering to leave. Did I scroll down too much? No, we're good. Perhaps we should respect the customary here, Erdebrand said in deliberation. Stay a night here won't affect our boarding of the ship. According to the experience Cleves was equipped with, he should have followed Fox's advice and stayed at the Green Lemon restaurant, but he remembered German Sparrow's reminder. It was a reminder of a powerful adventurer who was watching blazing Danitz. There is danger dormant in Banshee Harbor. It doesn't refer to it being indoors or outdoors. Cleves quickly made his decision and said to Erde, Mr. Brown, please trust in my profession. Yeah, I've seen a lot of folklore, but none of them are pragmatic. Another bodyguard agreed. Before he finished the sentence, knocking sounds came from the restaurant's doors and a series of screams could be heard from afar. Look, there are knocking sounds. Don't respond, Fox said slowly. Erde's heart palpitated as he found to choose to stay the night. Donna looked at the gentlemen and ladies standing at the doorways and said, felt that their gazes looked abnormally weird. No, we have to return. The young lady... Man, girl, shut up. Don't go outside. They're literally going to kill you. Just wait until client gets here. Stop. You're going to kill someone. Stop. She's going to kill someone if she opens up that door. No, you got to stay. No, we have to record. Stay in the door. Everybody's telling you to stay. Stay. The young lady stressed, almost screaming. Cleves could also feel the indescribable pressure and the coldness that seeped through his bones, and he once again stressed his opinion. If there are any problems, then it will be more dangerous staying here. There are cannons on the ship, as well as sailors with guns and sabers. This reason convinced Erde, who motivated for Cleves to open the door. It's not good. Cleves waited for the knocking to subside. Then, with one holding a gun, he pulled open the door with the other. Easy as feeding his scolding to the horror movies. We've seen way too many horror movies. If they tell you to stay, you stay. I can go wild in the empty woods all by myself. No, stay. You're literally dead if you do that. I lost my place. Okay, I found my place. The wind's howling had quieted, and the darkness was deep amidst the spreading fog. It was as if there were many monsters hidden within. Donna held her younger brother Denton, and hiding behind Cecile, left the restaurant west up the type creek. The door to the restaurant suddenly closed, preventing them from returning. Oh, now they're screwed, bro. Now you didn't notice, bro, but it's fine. I didn't notice what? I think I missed something. All right, we'll find out. We'll find out. When it happens, if I didn't catch it, you guys can let me know. At this moment, they were like ships stranding in a storm, as though they were the only ones left in the world. With a lantern in hand, Cleves walked in front, and he suddenly saw something fly over and crash on the ground. With the lantern in hand, Cleves walked in front when he suddenly saw... It's the head. Suddenly saw something fly over and crash on the ground, rolling in a few times. Dawn and the others subconsciously looked over and immediately let out cries of terror. It was a shriveled, rotting head. Then they saw light. Light fell from the sky, and the sky's head melted into nothingness. This, Erde and the others swallowed hard, and their bodies trembling. It's Klein. Klein took out the head? At that moment, they saw a faint yellow light approaching from the depths of the fog. Oh, it's Klein with a lantern. It was a figure holding a lantern, wearing a half-top hat and a double-breasted frock coat, which are the same color as the night. Yeah, it is him. The lines on his face were distinct, and there was an obvious sharpness and coldness. Uncle Sparrow. I like that name, Uncle Sparrow. Donna and Denton cried out. They felt that their hearts settled down. Klein tossed the lantern to Danitz beside him, and we walked over with his cane in hand before calmly saying to Cleves and the others as if nothing out of the ordinary, let's go to the telegraph office first. What about Timothy's? Oh, is he dead? Is Timothy's dead? Wait. Geeky didn't know. What didn't I notice? The villagers are weird. That's what I'm saying. I think I think they are weird. Yes, they are weird. But let me do my timestamp for now. And I'll quickly read your messages, and we'll see if we can find out what I missed. 53:33. Did my timestamp? Where the fuck are my timestamps? Oh, I'm dumb. I gotta copy it. I got what? I gotta copy and paste. I abbreviated copy and paste and said copied. I gotta copied. What? The fuck am I saying? Read again. How others in a restaurant acted when they wanted to go out. No, when they wanted to go out, they just stayed. The villagers are weird too. Geeky didn't notice. Easiest feeling scolding. Nah, you didn't notice, bro. It's fine. I mean, damned if you run, damned if you don't. Might as well go down swinging. Don't worry about it, Easy. Read again how the others at the restaurant, easy but doing, reaching new levels. Oh, it's been a week. Hold it. Should I go back and read that? Or no, let's keep reading. Because the villagers are acting weird, right? And I'm thinking the villagers are the elves, right? Those blood cakes, I don't think it's a regular cake. I don't know, man. Now keep going. We'll keep going, but let's keep going. Chapter 509, as I'm updating this live, is called Request. Timothy's. They're still in the restaurant. Oh, Timothy's is dead. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Wait. The villagers partook in... Oh, no. They're going to eat Timothy. Oh, shit. It's over. They're taking out Timothy. They're going to eat this man. Oh, man. They're going to turn him into a blood cake, huh? Ooh, that's not good. No, that's not good. No. Oh, yeah. They're definitely turning Timothy into a blood cake. They're still in the restaurant. Erdy's brain subconsciously replied. He then pointed to the area where the moldy head had been purified and anxiously asked... They're Walking Dead all over again. It's Walking Dead. What was that just now? And dude, like none of them were scared when she said there's a headless person, right? All right. Let's see what happens, man. These villagers are trippy. Maintaining German Sparrow's persona, Klein didn't answer and glances the Nits before walking directly past Dunn's family to tightly close the door of the Green Lemon restaurant. Blazing the Nits held his lantern and was relieved, having finally completed a goal. He straightened his back, looked at Erdy and the others, and scoffed. You don't have to worry about what that was. Just know it's a monster that will harm you. If German Sparrow wasn't only a few meters away, he even wanted to proclaim, only I, Lord Blazing the Nits, can protect you. Cleves exchanged glances with Cecile and Teague before taking the initiative to step forward. He comforted his employers and said, leave your questions to after we get back to Whitegate. Frankly speaking, the three bodyguards had all been adventurers for various periods of time. So, however, their understanding of monsters was still stuck at the level of folklore or stories of their drunken peers. They still found it rather surreal, as though they were in a dream. However, since they had seen creatures like murlocs before, it wasn't that hard to accept other things. At most, they were a little weirder and uglier than murlocs. When they thought of this, their hearts calmed significantly, and the guns at their hands seemed to regain their strength. However, the pure light that descended from the sky still exceeded their scope of understanding. They only felt that their worldview, outlook on life, and the values that had long been formed had begun wavering. All they could do was temporarily ignore it, suppressing all other emotions to the bottom of their hearts. Ooh, that's not good. Easy achieved enlightenment. What I miss? Oh, minus 20. I see what you did there. I see what you. I can't speak today. Woof, man. I don't know why I'm abbreviating my sentences. What is going on? Oh, Elden Ring. Yeah, we did. We've achieved enlightenment. Klein stopped at the door. Like, Lord of the Mysteries is a damn good web novel. Oh. We should turn that into a song. Klein stopped at the door of the Green Lemon restaurant, raised his right hand and tapped it with his fingers. Thump, thump, thump. After he knocked 3 times in the rhythmic fashion, no one answered and there was silence. If not for the candlelight shining through the windows and the cracks in the door, Klein would have thought it was an empty building that had long been abandoned. Thump, thump, thump. He knocked 3 more times. With the restaurant, the silence continued. Everyone seemed to be abiding by the custom of not responding to any knocking in the foggy weather. Klein retracted his right hand and patted the hem on his double-breasted frock coat. Suddenly, he leaned back, lifted his knees, and kicked his right foot forward. With a bang, the restaurant's door suddenly opened wide, and all the nails that had fixed the copper lock. Ooh, he's such a badass. Locked, popped out. Wearing a tailcoat, the boss fox with his pudgy, nearly round face was still standing in his original position. He's still standing in the same spot. He was still standing in his original position. The ladies and gentlemen who had chosen to stay the night all opened the doors one by one and stood quietly at the door, looking over without a word. What do you want? Foxton didn't flare up. His tone the same as before. However, he had a revolver in his hand. With his spirit vision activated, Klein turned his head and looked around. He didn't find any traces of evil on any of the human present. What is going on? I'm kind of scared for Timothy's. I think he's done. I think it's GG, bro. I think it's over him. His gaze landed on the boss of the restaurant, and his gaze turned heavy. He looked into the owner's eyes and asked, "Where's the Timothy family?" Oh. Fox repressed his emotions as though a storm was brewing in his dark brown eyes while he looked at the man for 2 seconds. Finally, he unnaturally turned his head and said, There's another table. Foreigners upstairs. Get them to come down," Klein ordered coldly. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, wait. This is weird. Fox was silent for a few seconds until the man quietly drew his gun and aimed it at his head. He took a deep breath and sent a waiter up to the second floor, leading to Timothy family down the stairs. What happened? Timothy was a man who was more than 30 years of age. He was on vacation with his newlywed wife. Oh, wait, no, so they're good. Klein lowered his gun and flatly said, "Something unexpected has happened in Banshee Harbor. Are you coming back with me to the ship or staying here?" Something unexpected. While Timothy ruminated over his words, he saw Ernie Branch outside nodding at him solemnly. He knew that the other party was a very rich, important, and expert merchant who had 3 bodyguards with him. He believed that if there were any unexpected circumstances, then it would be safer to stay with them, so the answer was obvious. As for the unique customs of Banshee Harbor, it was just a custom. He held his wife's hand and walked towards the door politely and smiled, said, "All of our things are on the ship. Of course, we'll stick with you." "Thank you." He and his new wife expressed their gratitude in unison, walked past Klein, and joined the Branch family outside. Klein withdrew his revolver, politely bowed at Fox, and said, "Excuse us." With that, he turned around and walked towards Cleves and Company, who was illuminated by the light leaking out from the restaurant. With a thud, the door of Green Lemon Restaurant closed once again, swaying slightly in the wind. Klein had actually noticed an unusual, subtle atmosphere just now. What did he notice? He was still a gentleman, even pointing the gun. Yeah, and he was still a gentleman. But since his spare vision failed to obtain anything, he didn't wish to investigate it too deeply, lest he ignite the huge danger lurking in Banshee Harbor. He returned to the knit side and did a head count with the light of the lantern. Done a family of 4, 3 bodyguards, and Timothy couple, and several servants are all present. Klein switched his hands, in which he held his revolver and cane in hand, lifted his gun-wielding right hand and slipped deep into the double-breasted frock coat and rubbed the sun brooch. Is he going to cleanse him? He noticed that 20 people stared at him and didn't say a single word. Why are they acting weird? Did I miss it? Or are they going to reveal why they were just acting like that? With a flash of dark golden light, an invisible force quickly spread outwards, flooding everyone present like a wave. Instantly, Don and the others felt as if they had arrived in south, like they were bathing in warm sunlight that dispersed a cold chill within their bodies. They were no longer as nervous and worried, as if they had found their courage again. The remnant black colors obtained from the special cured meat from Demir Harbor quickly disappeared along with the extremely minute amounts of wicked feeling. You don't need to know? Okay, we don't need to know. They're just introverts? Okay. It's not revealed yet? Okay, we don't need to know why. Sun Halo was able to enhance the courage of one's companions within 20-meter radius and purify any evil forces within them. With the help of the brooch, and while under the control of Klein's spirituality and psyche, he could use his power of the sun to bypass any targets he didn't wish to help. Let's head to the telegraph office first. Klein repeated himself as he held his cane in his left hand and his revolver in his right hand. After getting his bearings, he proceeded forward. The Nits followed his direction and walked diagonally to the side. Cleves, Cecile, and Teague very professionally took charge of security for the other 2 flanks. With a party of more than 15 people, it's easy for us to suffer losses once we're attacked. Moreover, only This is getting kind of scary. With a party of more than 15 people, it's easy for us to suffer losses once we're attacked. Moreover, only Blazing Sun can truly be considered a helper. What should I do? Thinking back to the mantra he had encountered, Klein suddenly slipped the revolver back into his underarm holster and handed the cane to his right palm. Oh, I scrolled down too much. He reached into his pocket with his left hand and removed the wall of spirituality around the iron cigar case. He took out a Zix copper whistle and held it in his right hand, occasionally tossing it up. He believed that such an action would divert the attention of the undead monsters, which only had one head left from the others, leaving the copper ancient whistle an only thing in their eyes. This way, I don't have to worry about not being able to rescue them in time. That's the effect of... What is that? This is a weird translation. Wait, what is this? That's the effect of MT1? Klein's sign quickened in his pace. What does that mean? The brooch was a good investment? It was a good investment. Wait, but hold up. I don't know what that means. What? Yeah, since this is my first time reading this scan, a good bait, MT Pokemon. MT is the main tank in MMOs. Oh. Like the main tank? No, I mean, I know what's a main tank. But it just said MT1. Okay. The copper attracted the undead creature. No, yeah, it's just weird. It said that's the effect of an MT1. Client side, so that's the effect of an MT. Okay. The one is a footnote. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a footnote. Why the fuck did I... Yeah, I should know that. I should know that by now. So that's the effect of an MT. Okay, we're good. He meant main tank. Oh, it's mentioned in the footnotes of the chapter. Okay, but that's the effect of an MT. We presume it's a main tank. Klein sighed and quickened his pace. At this moment, 3 shriveled heads covered in mold flew out from the thin fog in front of him. They charged towards Klein from different directions like arrows, completely ignoring the existence of other delicious meats. 3. The Knit's pupils contracted, a little worried that Gurm and Sparrow would end up flustered, but he also looked forward to seeing his true strength. 3. Klein calmly shook his left hand and threw his Ix copper whistle into the air. That's such a good bait, bro. The heads with esophagus hanging down from them immediately drew an arc and headed for their primary target. Klein took a step back and without any expression raised his hand and squeezed the sun brooch. All of a sudden, dense golden flames were produced where the copper whistle was a holy aura was emanated. Fire of light. The 3 skinny heads let out a miserable shrieks at the same time, turning into dust under the golden light. Klein took 2 steps forward and reached out to catch a Zig's copper whistle. That can actually work. Another mystical item. The Knits froze for 2 seconds, flabbergasted at how easily the assault had been resolved. He's like, damn, he's pretty good. At that moment, Timothy and his wife also clearly saw that the things which were attacking them looked like. One of them turned pale from fright while the other asked flustered, what was that? Donna immediately turned around and nodded seriously. Leave your questions to after we get back to Watergate. With that said, she put her fingers to her lips, mimicking Uncle Sparrow's meaning of silence. Look at them. Look at them take after Uncle Sparrow. Remembering the holy aura displayed by the young man in front of him, Timothy swallowed hard and pulled at his wife's hand. He fell silent while remaining alert, and his servants had no choice but to obey upon seeing this. The group continued on through the moonlight streets. The lights of the houses on the other side of the streets were extinguished, leaving only darkness behind the oriel windows. Donna felt as if pairs of eyes were following her and the others, but for some reason, no one showed up. They must all be afraid of Uncle Sparrow. She held her brother's hand tight and walked amidst the protective circle of her parents. Suddenly, a figure appeared at the side of the street. He wore a black coat and leaned forward, revealing a neck that was still bleeding. Oh, it's the one from the restaurant. They are learning the art of aura farming. Yes, indeed. There was nothing above the neck, with the interior of the cloak reflecting the moonlight. Gasp. The headless figure let out a beast-like growl that sounded like gasping as it was rushing towards Klein, stopping in the street to the point that the ground slightly shook. What is this? Like, is this the elf or not? A spot it passed by just happened to be in the Knit's path. The infamous pirate cursed and flung an orange-yellow fireball which had been repeatedly compressed from his hand. Look at him shooting fireballs. The fireball exploded. You see, he's going to make such a good fit on Klein's team. Because since Klein can't shoot fireballs, we know he has air bullets. But, like, when he shoots a fireball, maybe he can enhance his air bullets. Maybe they can do like a duo combo attack. The fireball exploded, causing the headless man to retreat several steps. His clothes were tethered and his skin quickly charred while his cloak was set on fire. However, to the monsters that had already lost their lives, this wasn't a serious injury. And in that instant, with a crisp crack, the scarlet flame on the black cloak suddenly soared in the air as if it was blooming. Klein and his coat jumped out of the flames, borrowing the momentum from his fall and his own strength in order to stab the cane he held in both hands directly into the headless man's neck. Splat. The cane sank into the headless man's body and emerged from his crotch. Ooh, that's not good. Bam. Klein's back muscles bulged, forcefully throwing the headless monster to the ground. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he stood behind the monster and continued to grip the cane tightly while he poured his spirituality into the sun brooch. He had already used his spirit vision to determine the holy light summoning cleaves of purification, and fire and light were all unable to deal with a blackish green monster in a short amount of time, so he can only use another method. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. That headless man struggled with all his might, but like a snake, he fell on his knees and was firmly nailed to the ground by his cane. 2 seconds, 1 second. Klein opened his mouth and spat out a word in ancient Hermes. Son. Dude. He is so cool, dude. Klein is such a fucking badass. Specks of radiance appeared and turned into the water droplets and sprinkled over the headless man's body. Sizzle. When the blackish green gas was emitted, Klein let go of his cane and took 2 steps to the side. With the sparse rain, the headless man continuously twitched before finally calming down, eventually melting into the pool of blood. No, beyond her characteristics, this means that it's not the real enemy. At most, it can be considered as a creatured servant. Klein withdrew his cane, turned and walked back to the ground. So cool, Denton let out a belated cheer. Donna's eyes sparkled. He was still borrowing the powers of a mystical item. However, his phasing away during the flames has indicated his true strength. He really isn't easy to deal with. Blazing Denis retracted his gaze, feeling that his decision not to mindlessly run off had been extremely wise. 7 or 8 minutes later, the group that cleared out 2 more waves of monsters arrived at Banty Port's telegraph office. Cleese took initiative and knocked on the door. Aura farming. Literally aura farming this whole volume, huh? You guys were right. He's literally going to be aura farming this entire volume. Who is it? A gentle female voice came from his side. We're looking for the captain of the White Gate, Mr. Elland. Cleves answered through the door. In the quiet night, the woman's voice spoke at a moderate pace. He and his first mate were next door to the cathedral. The person speaking sounds odd, or is she like that only on Southern Nights? Klein flicked a gold coin and confirmed that she wasn't lying. As they were prepared to leave, the female voice in the telegraph office hesitated and said, "Can you guys help me take note of someone? He's my colleague. He went out before the wind started tonight and never came back. His name is Pavel Court." Oh, it is right here. Okay, so MT means main tank. A term used in gaming for a character that takes on all the aggro and damage. Yeah, he was acting like a main tank. I forgot, though, it's abbreviated as MT. Yeah, it's been a while since I played MMOs. I forgot about that. I like playing as main tank. If you guys have played Final Fantasy 14, I played as a Gunbreaker. I like Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker was a pretty cool tank class. Like Warrior was pretty cool. You just spam Fell Cleave. Dark Knight was just badass. You just have this big ass sword. You're Dark Knight. It was fucking cool. But Gunbreaker was just fun. It was such a fun, cool class. But let me do my timestamp. And let's keep reading. 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 20 seconds. Copy paste. Chapter 510. I think we're at a pretty good pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th chapter. We're on our 6th chapter, and we've only been live for an hour and 40. Good game. Only MMO I played much of, but not really, is Lord of the Rings Online. I've checked out Lord of the Rings Online. I liked it. I mean, I feel like I should play more, right? Hold up. Before we continued, let me quickly respond to Missy Zigiki. Hold up. Bear with me for 1 sec. Can't wait for the LOM game to come out for the vibes relay. Hold up. Let me send a quick message. I did have my World of Warcraft period. I feel like we all have our MMO period, right? Wait, hold up. Just a quick second. Let me just send a quick message. 1 sec. Bear with me. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're back. We're back. Beautiful. Okay, we're good. Really unhinged? LOTM. It's LOTM. Yeah, it's true. But all the new people, all the new fans, because we're the OGs. I'm an OG like you guys, okay? Us OGs are going to be saying LOTM. All the newcomers, they're going to be saying LOM, all right? And this is how we're going to be able to distinguish an OG fan, because I'm an OG fan like you guys, right? You know, because now I'm gonna feel like an old timer when we have people saying LOM. You know, we're all old monsters. And when here used to play Fiesta, I've never played Fiesta. We're the elders. We are literally the elders of the community. I'm one of the youngest elders, by the way, because I started like 6 months ago. But I'm one of the younger elders. We got like the elder elders, and we have like the archbishop elders. But I'm like a youngling on the elder brotherhood. There is no LOM, and it's gonna be sad when people start saying LOM, man. It's gonna break my heart. We're older. All right, let's keep reading. Wait, hold up. Should I keep Walls Closing In playing? I started 3 or 4 years ago. Oh wow, you guys started a while ago. I started last year. You know, no biggie. Okay, should I keep Walls Closing In playing, or should we take it off? I think we can keep it playing for a little bit longer, right? Keep it for now. Okay, yeah, we'll keep it playing. All right, next chapter. LOM, calm, foam, doesn't matter. Like Lakers, huh? Can't keep it playing. 2 years ago now. Yeah. Yeah. This is our second year with Lord of Mysteries. Izigeki fight continues until 527. Keep it playing. Damn! For 15 oh wait, I fucking believed you, Unhinged. That's like 15 more chapters of just fights. Some people are gonna start the novel after season 2 of the Donghua and still finish before you. You know what, man? Yeah, yeah. There's people that are gonna start the web novel after season 1 and they're gonna be done. It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's unironically, it's true. It is gonna happen, Red Devil, and it makes me sad. Yeah, we need to do like 24-hour streams like once a week so we can finish this shit, man. Because we're barely 37.5% done with the series. Well, I mean that's just LOTM. We don't even know what COI. Oh my god! Wait. Do you guys want to hear my crazy ass theory? I'm gonna timestamp this fucking theory so I don't forget. You guys want to hear a crazy ass fucking theory? I'm timestamping this bitch so I don't forget. Do not threaten us with dude, Wiz surpassing you in inevitable. Look, I have one crazy ass theory right here, okay, guys? Yes, people are eventually gonna pass me since our output has been kind of slow, but you should be ready. You should title your video LOM from now on. Probably. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody, get your tinfoil hats. You guys ready? I'm gonna cook a pretty good theory right here. I'm going through my notes, you know, boop. I was gathering my notes on Will Osipton, you know, and how like he's currently being reborn, and he's currently being reborn allegedly, and what was his name? Aaron's wife. So here it is. Here's the theory. I think because we know, he's allegedly a Sequence 1 Snake of Mercury. And then there's a whole thing with the Ouroboros name reveal and whatnot. And he's going to be reborn. Klein said, like, oh, maybe he'll be a girl this time around when he's reborn. So 2 things are going to happen. When Will is reborn as like a female Snake of Mercury, he's either going to be born at full age, which I don't think is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen. It's going to be the latter. I think he's going to be born, and there's going to be some crazy-ass revelation with Will as a female character, and then she is going to be the main character of COI, right? I think that's it. Do not confirm or deny. Do not confirm or deny. But I think Will, whenever he's reborn as a female character, as a Sequence 1 Snake of Mercury, Will is going to be the main character of Circle of Inevitability. That's what it's called, right? Like Ellie is barking at me because she's like, oh, that's such a good theory. I think that's going to happen. And someone did slip up and say that the main character of COI was a female. I don't know the name. I don't know nothing. People did refer to her. So I'm like, okay, it's a woman. But I found it very coincidental that Easy is barking. No, Ellie is barking. I find it very coincidental that Klein said, maybe Will is going to be a girl this time. Why was bro clapping? Because it's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. And then Klein is going to take in Will and bam, he's going to raise her for whatever purpose that's going to happen in COI. I think that's a good theory. I was literally thinking about that like an hour before I went live when I was taking my notes. I'm like, damn, that'd be wild if that happens. But I don't know. We'll find out. No, he's going to raise her as his daughter. Hold up. Wait. Let's not make it weird. Hold up. Let's not make it sound weird. He's going to raise her as a daughter-like figure. Will. He is going to raise Will as a daughter-like figure for whatever ultimanium that's going to lead into COI. I think that's what's going to happen. Ellie! Hold up. Why is she barking? No one has theories like Easy? You know it. Hold up. Let me find out what Ellie. Let me check. Ellie! Hey! Ellie! Why are you barking like a crazy girl? Start barking like a crazy girl. Hey, they can hear you barking outside. Yeah, look, chat can hear you barking. You gotta chill. You gotta calm down. Okay? Give me a kiss. No? I love you. No, we're gonna keep reading, okay? You wanna hang out with us? Romero, don't start it. Someone mentioned the goat. Someone mentioned my goat, the true creator. Hi. Oh, speaking of the goat, true creator, I was under the assumption that Amon was a follower of the true creator. But no, he's doing his own thing. He only knows of the Fool because of Derek. Yeah, that's true. So we don't know what's his ultimatum. Okay, yeah, but we know Shepherd, Elder Shepherd Lovia, he been chilling? He's been chilling? Oh yeah, hold up. Yeah, people were like, people were saying like, who the fuck told you Amon is a true creator believer? And I was like, hold up, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Yo, by the way, dude, thank you guys. There's like 35 of you guys here. Ellie, stop. Chill. Are we done? Can we like calm down? Can you just take a nap? Remember the good old days when I first started reading on stream, you just take a nap on me, and now you're just like acting all crazy when I'm live? Can we just stop? Sit down. Here, take a nap. Take a nap. Take a nap. Take a nap. But let's keep reading. Izuki, isn't that why City of Silver thinks he is? You adopted their beliefs? Isn't that what the city of... Hold up. Wait till he finds out. Unhinged? I don't know if that was a spoiler, but I know you're trolling. Will gonna go to sleep. Oh, you're gonna head out? No, it's okay. It's okay, Khaled. Thank you for joining for as long as you could, man. Thank you. But let's keep reading. Let's read next chapter. Ellie, look, I gave her a bath, so her hair is so like silky smooth right now. But she needs a trim. Her hair's getting a little crazy. We're gonna grow out a little bit more. No, the City of Silver believes that Amon fought with the true creator. Stop spreading misinformation. You know what's funny? I remember at one point I started believing the whole shit that Klein and Alger were trying to have Derek set up. It was funny how I was like, wait, I ended up believing the same shit that they were trying to make the City of Silver believe. Hey, stop. You gotta calm down. Do you want to go out or you gotta chill? You're gonna chill here with me for one chapter. Ready? Go get it. No? Alright. True creator Examon. Clearly, that's what's gonna happen. Alright. Next chapter. Let's update this bad boy. 510. Dude, I'm so fucking pumped for Anime Expo. Anime Expo is in like a month and a half, man. Alright, let's do this. Next chapter. Beautiful. You guys ready? Are you guys excited? Bruh, imagine talking to a woman as say as someone with a girlfriend. Let me let her out. Ellie, do you want to go out? Yeah? You gotta go out. Okay, go out. Wait, I lied. Before we start reading, hold up. I gotta fix my timestamp. Hold up. Now I gotta fix my timestamp. I have to edit my timestamp. Since I was telling you guys what I was thinking about what I was cooking for a little bit. So 1 hour, our new timestamp is 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 44 seconds. Beautiful. Be sure to spread the gospel of Olutim while you're there. Izigiki, you have to fake them? Fake what? Username. I get slandered for no reason. No need to forget Cammy. He does that himself. Wait, what happened? What did I miss? Your message was badly worded. It ain't my fault. Romero and Kiki understood it the same way. Badoon. Oh, by the way, MCSO is not human. They are a mushroom hybrid. Wait, what were you guys? I have to fake them? Fake what? Alright, let me do this in the meantime. More water. Let's continue. Easy, read it as a possibility. Question that. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, but we'll continue. Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited? Damn, so we're gonna keep the battle music going. What the fuck is... You Badoon saying you needed to fake your timestamps? Oh, I need to fake my timestamps. I need to update my timestamps. What the fuck? I said that? Sometimes I don't even know what I say. Oh my god, I almost unplugged my fucking power cable. Oh, that would have fucked up the video. That definitely would have fucked up the video. All right, next chapter. We're going to copy paste. Beautiful. It's good. We're ready. Locked and loaded. Bean toaster eater for crazy. Bean toaster eater crazy. My prediction almost came true. All right, let's get ready. Next chapter. Chapter 510. It's called The Returning Bishop. Father Utrowski? No, right? Pavel Court Cleves didn't directly answer the woman behind the telegraph office door. He turned to glance at German Sparrow, waiting for the decision. In the eyes of this former adventurer, it was difficult to task for 15 people to get back to the Watergate safely. They couldn't and shouldn't be distracted by helping her search for someone. However, he was still aware that the current pillar of the support was German Sparrow and Blazing the Nits. They were the only ones who had the right to decide on the matter. Klein remained silent for 2 seconds, then he spoke in a measured voice. What does he look like? He believed that having more information would help him escape this strange, foggy city. So he casually asked in passing, as for whether he would take note of the person's whereabouts, it all depended on whether the next... Did I scroll down too much? It all depended on what happened next. No, I read that wrong. While inquiring, Klein also warned himself not to pursue the matters to deploy too deeply, or else it might risk triggering the danger dormant in Banshee Harbor. Between understanding the situation and avoiding the risks, he had to engage in a blazing act, no more, no less. Without leaning too far left or right, this might not be easier or difficult feat, because no one knew what would happen once he took the step. He could only judge based on his experience and intuition. He could fall into a pit at any time. This left Klein highly... Why would he be stressed? This left Klein highly stressed in his mind's world at an unprecedented speed. In the dense darkness and thin fog, the telegraph office door remained tightly shut. The woman inside paused and said, "He's a very handsome man." Ooh, okay. Okay, they're falling for him. He has 2 eyes, 2 ears. Oh, wait, hold up, I lied. He's a very handsome man. He has 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Why does this answer sound so scary? Is there something wrong with this woman? According to the customs of Banshee Harbor, she shouldn't have even responded. Blazing the Nits Harbor had the urge to open the door, rushing into the telegraph office and check the situation inside. It was at this moment that he saw German Sparrow put on his hand and hat and turn to the side. Storm Cathedral. Klein briefly stated their destination. I don't even know what just happened. He didn't bother with whether there was anything wrong with the woman at the telegraph office. It was just like how he didn't delve into the secrets of the owner of the Green Lemon restaurant or the customers who had chosen to stay the night. The wind was getting lighter and the fog was thinning. The candlelight from the cathedral was shining through the narrow windows high above like a beacon in storm. After Klein used the sun halo again, Donna and the others regained some of their courage like people who had fallen into the water and desperately grabbed onto the last straw. They hurriedly walked onto the empty streets in silence. Soon they arrived outside the Storm Cathedral, but the doors were shut tightly. Glancing at the Storm Sacred emblem of the door, Klein raised his hand and knocked 3 times. Thump, thump, thump. A vigilant male voice immediately came from behind the door. "Who is it?" "German Sparrow," Klein replied straight away. He could already tell that it was Captain Ellen. "Why are you here?" Ellen asked again without opening the door. Klein raised his cane and calmly said, "You've helped me pay White Shark's compensation." After a moment of surprise and amusement, Ellen made the initial confirmation that it was a real German Sparrow outside. At the very least, even a monster adept at disguising wouldn't have known something that was privy to only the 2 of them. He still felt hesitant until Cleves, Erdy, Branch, Donna, and company sounded out in succession. Only then did they relax and allow his first mate Harris to unlock and open the door. A heavily chuckling sound rang out, and Klein saw Ellen and his boat-shaped hat, sword in one hand and musket in the other hand. Something happened here too. He keenly asked, based on the conclusion from the situation before. Ellen stepped aside to let Donna and the others in. Then he pointed at the prayer hall and said, "The priest I knew, Jace, died in there. He was decapitated and the Bishop Millet is nowhere to be found. Some of the other priests, also the servants in the church, are all gone." They're literally all gone. A dead priest with a missing bishop. The whole cathedral is devoid of the living. This is a little problematic. Klein gripped the cold as copper whistle, his heart sinking. Of course, he was very clear that the priest and the bishop weren't the main force of the Church of Storms that managed the Beyonder matters in Banshee Harbor. Underneath this cathedral, there was definitely a mandated Prussian team formed out of 6 or 8 Beyonders, as well as an indefinite member of sealed artifacts. Oh, that is true. Even a high sequence of Beyonders wouldn't be able to wipe out the force in a short span of time without causing a stir. As long as they're alive and able to use sealed artifacts, the problem shouldn't be too terrible. So at this moment in time, with the mandated Puncher's team doing, based on his previous experiences, the Nighthawk, Klein made a guess on of the standard operating procedures. In the process, he followed Ellen to the prayer hall and examined the body of the deceased priest. Jace died a tragic death, and as if he had been decapitated while he was still alive. Unlike the monsters outside, his esophagus and head were separated. With Klein's spirit of vision, the priest no longer had any remnant spirit. It would have been very difficult to have a successful spirit channeling ritual. It is due to a unique killing technique. That's true. Wouldn't, like, the soul linger for, like, another hour or so and he'd be able to talk to it? Why is chat taking lessons from Gurman? I don't know if we should take lessons from Gurman. We can take his oral farming lessons, but we can implement them in a nice, polite, and safe way, right? One where we don't harm others. Is it due to a unique killing technique, or has that been dealt with accordingly? It is difficult for the monsters outside. Was it because the operation happened in a rush? Combining all that he knew, Klein concluded the previous speculation. He felt that there were two possibilities. One was as something of the local origins, perhaps a living sealed artifact or a mid-sequence Beyonder who had lost control underground. It escaped the cathedral and killed Jace while fleeing, causing the abnormal changes in Banshee Harbor. The bishop, priest, and mandated departures were in a desperate pursuit and attempted to form a seal again or get rid of the perpetrator. The servants had been led underground and were under the protection of the remaining mandated punishers. But this didn't explain the strange behavior of the residents of Banshee Harbor. The second possibility was that the primitive sacrificial ritual of the god of weather had been resurrected in a number of people in Banshee Harbor, and that the flying heads and headless monsters were in adherence with the descriptions of flesh and blood consumption in the sacrificial ritual and the burning of heads in the altar. And due to some unknown reason, this group of people had razed the cathedral and killed Reverend Jess. The rest of the population had more or less understood the situation, but they had opted for silence. They might have already assaulted the area underground and are currently engaging in an intense battle with the mandated pushers. That's a good possibility. With the mandated pushers, priests, and the bishops who are aided by the sealed artifacts. So this is another possibility. They might have transformed all the servants into monsters or thrown them out. It can also be that they're all under pursuit of the Beyonders of the Church of Storms, and the servants have been sent underground to receive protection to prevent any accidents. From the fact that Jace's corpse hasn't been used, there's a possibility that it's the latter development. If I were to head underground to confirm the situation, I'll definitely be attacked since we're unfamiliar Beyonders. Besides, the remnant strength might not be sufficient. Klein looked at the priest on the ground and realized that his Beyonder characteristic had condensed into a blue sapphire by his neck. He retracted his gaze and didn't pick up the item. He didn't want to attract the violent retaliation from the short-tempered Church of Storms, so he turned to Ellen and Harris. Let's return to the ship first. Oh, he just left it there. He casually tossed a gold coin and confirmed that there was no battle currently going on underground. In any case, regardless of whether there were any mandated pressures present, the cathedral ground was no longer suitable for prolonged stays. After all, Klein wasn't sure if his guess was right, and he could only make the safest choice. Alright, Ellen had no desire to stay here either, being in a situation where he waited nervously for any changes to befall him. As long as he returned to Wedgate, he would have many cannons and many sailors that could withstand the actions to a certain extent. After a short rest, the group left the cathedral. With the addition of Ellen and Horace, the team defense clearly became much tighter. Klein no longer needed to cause a copper whistle to attract the monster, so he stuffed it back into his pocket. Shall we send a telegram to the Church of Storm headquarters to report on Banshee Harbor? After a few steps, Ellen made a cautious suggestion. This way, even if there was a major unforeseen event, as long as they held on, they would eventually be saved. Klein didn't object. Walking through the thin fog ahead of him, he calmly said, "We'll pass by the telegraph office." Few blazing the nets breathed a sigh of relief. Then his heart skipped a beat. He was afraid that the Church of Storms would perform investigations and discover that an infamous pirate had played an important role in this matter, and by then he would probably still be trapped on the White Gate. Although I see people, the mandated pushers aren't friendly to those who don't belong to them, especially when I'm a pirate. Stumped for a moment, the Nits decided to go over the immediate danger before considering the other matters. After walking for a while, they saw the telegraph office in sight. A faint yellow light suddenly emerged from the side of the street and approached them from the depths of the fog. It was a middle-aged man carrying a lantern. It was a middle-aged man carrying a hurricane lamp? This is somebody new. Bro doesn't want beef with the meatheads. He wore a dark blue bishop. Oh, it's the missing priest. That's the it's called the returning bishop. Got it. That's why the chapter's called that. He wore a dark blue bishop robe embroidered with the symbol of the storm. His head was bowed and his face was pale. He was wheezing as he staggered while walking. Ellen focused and blurted out, "Bishop Millet." The middle-aged man looked up and raised his hurricane lamp and said, "Ellen, is it?" At this moment, Klein took a step back, letting Ellen stand out. He didn't wish for the bishop of the Church of Storms to pay notice to him. The Nets even shrunk his neck back, using Erdy's plump body to block himself. "Yes, they're both trying to hide. "Yes, Your Excellency, Jace is dead. What happened?" Ellen wasn't a novice, so he didn't directly step forward. Bishop Malef coughed and said, "An old custom has been revived. and a group of heathens with dirty blood running through their veins are beginning to offer live sacrifices and are consuming their flesh and blood. Oh, wait a second. Who? Jace noticed that there was a problematic and ended up... Jace noticed that they were problematic and ended up being killed by them. The matter can no longer be covered up. They used the sacrificial ritual to change the weather and tried to attack the cathedral. They were defeated by the mandated pushers and fled to the mountain. They escaped the cave where the altar was. I was injured in combat. Without being able to hold out much longer, all I could do was slowly make my way back. Just as he finished speaking, a bright ball of light burst out of the distant fog as if countless bolts of lightning were striking down. With the help of the light, Klein and the others could see the fog-covered mountain range by the shore, as well as the peak, which was connected to the thunderstorm to a certain extent. This confirmed Bishop Millet's claim. Yeah, what's up? What's going on with all the fire? What'd I miss? Elend was about to step forward to support the Storm Bishop when he saw Gerben Sparrow take out a gold coin and mutter in a low voice, "He has ill intentions, ding." The gold coin flew up and then tumbled in the air before landing in Klein's palm, heads facing up. It meant a positive result. Bishop Millet stared straight at the scene. His light brown eyes suddenly flashed with a dark red light. All right, let's keep reading. Next chapter. Snitch Halo. We got a snitch in this chapter. Hold up. We got a snitch. Snitches get stitches. Am I right? 1 hour, 23 minutes, 36 seconds. Let me quickly check if Miss Easy Geeky responded. Let's copy paste. I don't think she responded yet. If I order. Bear with me 1 second. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. What is my thing going through? Okay, we're good. Now we can continue. You're really locked in. There was basically no stalling. There was 0 stalling. Make sure we have our timestamp. We gotta update this part up here. Wait, hold up. No, wait. We don't love... Benny, I know you were joking, but we do not love to see that. No, yeah. We definitely don't like seeing that, Benny. I know it's a joke, but I like all the fire we're posting in the chat, so something crazy is about to happen. Fire is the only way I will burn everything. They're locked in. We're always locked in. Never have we ever stalled. Like right now. Next chapter. Chapter 511. It's called Snitch Halo. And make sure I have my timestamps. Yes. We're good. All right, let's keep reading. Whoosh. A strong gale blew out from Bishop Millet's body, lifting up his dark blue bishop's robe. Crack, 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 crack. 4 cracks. Not 3 cracks, 4 cracks. The branches of the nearby tree snapped as they flew into the air. Donna's body involuntarily rose a few meters into the air before being thrown out several... Wait, what? A strong gale blew out from Bishop... Wait. Wait, what happened to him? A strong gale blew out from Bishop Millet's body, lifting up his dark blue bishop's robe. Crack. The branches of the nearby tree snapped and flew into the air. Donna's body involuntarily rose a few meters, what the fuck, into the air before being thrown out several meters. Her body ached all over when she fell to the ground. It wasn't just her... Wait, what the fuck just happened? Is that why you guys were spamming fire earlier? What the fuck just happened? And this fucking bishop, what the fuck is he doing? Snitches get stitches, am I right? We gotta take him out. It wasn't just her. Cecile, hold up, I think something bad probably happened to him. Oh, ooh. I know what happened. He's in on the whole thing. He's probably one of the people trying to. He's the one causing the ritual, and he was the one that killed the priest in the church. It was him. And he escaped from the mandated punishers that were trying to take him out in the mountains. So he came back to go in hiding, and he ran into them. That's clearly what happened. He was just trying to like play it off and say, oh, it was them. But in actuality, it was him. Let me find my place. It wasn't just her. Cecile, Denton, Timothy, Harris, and the others were all blown up by the wind and landed in different spots. Only Cleves, Teague, and Erdy, either because of their training or abnormality, heavy weight, staggered to the ground and tumbled a few times. Elend, who was facing Bishop Millet directly, did a series of retreating and backwards somersaulting actions, dodging the incoming blow from the wind. Why can't I scroll down? Oh my god, my thing froze. Wait. My thing actually froze. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. My shit froze. Fuck. Can't y'all not spam? No, it's okay. You guys can spam politely. That's okay. Wait, hold up. My shit froze. Hold the fuck up. Why did my thing freeze? Why did it fucking freeze? 510. Chapter 511. Okay, we're good. For some easy to remember, violence isn't the answer. It's the question. The answer is yes. Well, let's find out. Okay, we're good. My thing froze, but we're good. Okay. All right, good. We're good. I thought my thing crashed, but we're good. Climbed into the nits, and the nits didn't attempt to resist it head on. Instead, they flew backwards like kites. Although they looked like they were about to collapse to the ground, they ultimately managed to keep their balance. As soon as the hurricane stopped, 6 figures emerged from the dispersing fog. They were all wearing black cloaks and were headless. Oh, yeah, it's the bishop. Left with only bleeding necks, their hoods... Oh, yeah, it's him. Their hoods were supported up by the eddies of the hurricane. Gasp. Their throats emitted to the lower grunts of a beast like the moment before they were ready to attack. So. A series of thin and sharp wind blades shot out, leaving a clear and deep rift where Klein was somersaulting. Tap, tap, tap. From both sides of the lantern, wielding Bishop Millet, who was dark in blue bishop robes, had flared up slightly. 6 headless men rushed at Klein. Ellen and the others stomped on the ground until they trembled. One headless monster is already hard enough to deal with, but now there are 6 of them. And there's even a bishop who's obviously corrupted. Yeah, oh my god. What the fuck? It's the bishop. And there's even a bishop who's obviously corrupted. When Blazing the Knit saw this scene, he couldn't help but feel his scalp tingle. Oh shit, hold up. The bishop is gonna join the Creeping Hunger crew. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Ooh, Mr. German Sparrow, he's gonna be like, I'm a want you in my Creeping Hunger right here. He's like, he's gonna put him in there. Ooh, it's gonna be good, dude. Oh, it's gonna be sick, dude. Let me find my place. At this moment, a bronze beam streaked past his eyes and shot into the distance. Dang, dang, dang. A Zig's copper whistle dropped to the ground and bounced a few times. With a whoosh, the 6 headless men charged the direction at the same time, rushing towards the location of where Zig's copper whistle came to stop, leaving Bishop Millet standing alone in his original spot. Klein seized the opportunity, lifted his left hand, tearing off the sun brooch inside his coat, and threw it to the Captain Ellen, who was closest to him. He shouted successfully, "Inject your spirituality, 5 seconds, holy water." After saying that, he ignored his silk top hat that had been blown away. No, not the top hat. And instead, he bent his body, dashing towards Bishop Millet in a zigzag manner. So. Or is that Zoo? Or he becomes a love interest? Maybe he becomes a love interest. Like, he was misunderstood this whole time. One after another, and then they fall in love. Oh, shut up. One after another, wind blades were shot out in close succession, all of them aimed at Klein. In a flash, the ground showed signs of being cut and slashed. Klein either somersaulted, lunging forward, or jumping up by supporting his body with a hands to avoid the first round of concentrated fire. The dark red light in Bishop Millet's eyes grew brighter as he raised his hand. So. What does that even mean, so? No, we're joking. At this moment, the wind blades inundated him like a machine gun. Klein only had enough time to dodge half of it before his body was torn apart, turning into thin and light shreds of paper that flew into the air. Klein appeared in another direction and continued to charge at Bishop Millet, trying to close the distance between them to an effective distance. After catching the sun brooch, Ellen immediately felt the heat. He wished that he could take off his clothes and jump into the freezing water. He thought for a moment about the words German Sparrow had left before taking out a thin colored alcohol flask from inside the cloths, unscrewed the lid, and poured it all over Lindeef proof inside. The strong aroma of the wine rapidly spread in all directions. Blazing the Knits looked around, feeling certain of the situation. With a grimace, he genuflected? What does that even mean? Genuflected? And suddenly pressed both his palms onto the ground. Two scarlet fire serpents appeared out of thin air, clinging to the ground as they spread towards the Zig's copper whistle while they created 4 burning walls of fire. Kneeling. Oh, so it's like he's kneeling. Got it. Thank you. Where I lost my place. Oh, wait. He created 4 burning walls of fire. His original plan had been to throw a fireball at Bishop Millet and let German Sparrow use the flames to easily jump towards the bishop and launch an attack. You see, the Knits is going to make such a good addition to Klein's crew. Because when he's casting his fireballs or whatever fire abilities he uses, Klein can just start teleporting to it. So he doesn't necessarily have to start planning everything out. He can also rely on the nits. However, after seeing that the area around the bishop was filled with freezing gales, he rationally gave up on an idea. Never mind. He gave up on an idea. He was prepared to first clean up the headless monsters to prevent them from disturbing German-Sparrow's ability to use his true strength. Cleve, Cecile, Teague, and Harris had already stood up again and drawn their guns. They surrounded Erdi, Dumba, and Timothy in the middle, guarding them against any other monsters that might appear. Their experience taught them that without any prior teamwork training, it was best to not interfere in a battle that was beyond that of ordinary humans. True? Tap, tap, tap. The 6 headless men, obviously to the burning flames, burst through the scarlet walls of fire and began to pounce on the Zig's copper whistle like ravenous dogs. This gave Ellen time to inject his spirituality into the sun brooch with composure. After the holy water condensed, he dripped them into the alcohol flask. Seeing the headless people in a frenzied bunch, the Nit's heart skipped a beat. He bent down halfway and with a flushed face condensed a scorching white flaming sphere into his right palm. What? He condensed a scorching white flaming sphere into his right palm. What the? That is so cool. Taking a step forward, he twisted his wrist and swung his arm, throwing out the flaming spear. It whistled as it hit a headless man and nailed it to the ground. A blazing white light soared and the headless man's body was reduced to ashes. The remaining half of his body was also burning, continually releasing blackish green gases. Seeing that his attack had succeeded, the Nitz was also able to continue this attack method when he suddenly sensed a particular kind of crazy, terrifying hunger. At this moment, he felt as though he had arrived in front of a deep abyss, just one step short of falling in. He knew that German Sparrow was no longer suppressed that crazy soul inside. He knew that German Sparrow was no longer suppressing the crazy soul inside him. After using paper figurine substitutes 3 times, Klein finally entered a predetermined distance. The glove on his left palm suddenly exploded with a hunger that had been suppressed for a long time. And the dark golden scales began sprouting from it as it squirmed. Oh shit. We're literally gonna harvest this bishop, huh? We're gonna add a new soul, bro, to creeping hunger. Klein pupils faded away as if they had turned vertical. Immediately after, his pupils reflected Bishop Millet's fluttering dark blue robes. Without a sound, the middle-aged man, who was about to produce a large number of wind blades, suddenly tilted his head backwards and his body froze for a second. His eyes, which were glowing with a dark red light, lost their rationality as they were filled with a sense of madness. His skin, I updated, yeah. His skin became smooth and colorful, like the skin of some aquatic creature. Ew. He let out a panting sound as though it had come from the depths of the ocean, as slippery, disgusting tentacles suddenly drilled out from under his dark blue robes. Psychiatrist frenzy. Klein originally only wanted to use this to interrupt the enemy attack in order to create... That's so cool. So he used the Psychiatrist's ability, Psychiatrist Frenzy. Klein originally only wanted to use this to interrupt the enemy's attack in order to create an opportunity for him later, but after going berserk, Bishop Millet immediately lost control. The moment the fallen or corrupted man lost his final shackles of reasoning, he immediately stepped into the abyss of losing control. Klein's people shrank as he saw the situation. He no longer hesitated, and he switched to the soul he was driving. That's so cool, dude. That is so cool. You imagine a cute, easy gecko fan art wearing a beanie? What's a gecko? I don't know what that is. But if that's out there, you guys let me know. Chat, my brother just called Easy Gecko. Wait, I gotta look. I don't know what's a gecko. It's a lizard? Oh, that's pretty cool. That'd be down. An easy gecko with a beanie. I think that'd be pretty sick. The moment the fallen or corrupted man lost control of the final shot, I read this. Klein people shrank as he saw the situation. He no longer hesitated, and he switched to the soul he was driving. In the midst of his frenzy, the glove on his left palm became stained with a gold color. His expression became dignified, and his gaze once again locked onto Bishop Millet. In an instant, his eyes lit up like 2 bolts of lightning. All of a sudden, Bishop Millet let out a blood-curdling screech. His palms and tentacles retracted as he covered his head. His psyche had been penetrated, causing him indescribable pain. Interrogator. Klein pushed himself up with his right hand, and his right hand lit up with a pleasant brilliance. Right on the heels of that, he leaned back and opened in his arms as to embrace the sun. A thick, pure, and blazing brilliance descended from the sky, landing on Bishop Millet and enveloping him within it. The surrounding change... I'm sorry, is there any fan art on this? On Bishop Millet? What's a gecko? Easy 2025. So many quotes. So many new quotes of this year in just this stream alone. I wonder if there's any fan art on Bishop Millet. That'd be pretty cool to look at that. The surroundings changed as though it was daytime. The strong gales came in an abrupt halt. Sequence 5, Priest of Light. Bishop Millet's body began to evaporate. First his skin, then his tentacles, and finally his flesh. By the time the brilliant pillar of light disappeared, he no longer looked human. Instead, he had turned into a monster made of bones. What? He had turned into a monster made of bones and flesh. Whatever was left of his aura was rather weak. However, he wasn't dead. The vitality of Rampager was stronger than ever before. Klein's expression didn't change. He took a few steps forward and rushed to the battered body of Bishop Millet. He genuflected, leaned forward, and pressed his left palm against the flesh. I can't read that word. He stopped using the power of the Priest of Light because he wanted to leave some food for creeping hunger. Yeah, look at that. He stopped using the power of the Priest of Light because he wanted to leave some food for keeping hunger. That is so badass, dude. A small crack suddenly appeared in the palm region of the glove as two rows of illusory white and eerie teeth? That was in the fan art you guys have sent. Yeah, there's like teeth on creeping hunger, right? Like right here. White and airy teeth grew out from it as it madly devoured any flesh and bones and spirituality. However, Bishop Millet continued struggling. He steadied his flesh and grew new tentacles, trying to entangle Klein and pull him into his embrace. Klein threw his cane, pulled out his revolver, and fired 5 shots in quick succession at the monster. Bang, 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 bang. Bullets ranging from pale gold, brass, and silver color struck Bishop Millet, igniting patches of different color flames. This is such a crazy fight. This is such a cool fight, dude. Bishop Millet let out a blood-curdling screech once more. One came from his soul. He finally wasn't able to resist creeping hunger. Even his flesh and soul was transformed into a... So cool, dude. His soul was transformed into a turret that poured into the insatiable mouth. In just 2 or 3 seconds, all of that was left on the ground were clothes, money, and specks of dark blue and green light robes. We literally ate him just like that. There's always a mouth somewhere, man. That is crazy. There was a difference between devouring and... I thought it said glazing. This was the difference between devouring and grazing. Klein wanted the latter more, but there was no other food around. Meanwhile, Captain Ellen had already created 2 rounds of holy water inside his alcohol flask. The Nits hurriedly shouted at him, "Throw it over." Without hesitation, Ellen threw the alcohol flask towards the headless man who were still vying for the copper whistle. Ahem, the Nits cleared his throat and stood up straight. He leisurely inserted his left palm into his pocket and pushed forward with his right hand, quickly forming many sacred fire ravens around him. He's forming scarlet fire ravens around him. That is so cool. The Nits is so fucking cool. I'm gonna lose all my money. These half illusionary fire ravens flapped their wings and flew out following different trajectories of attack. At the same time, they coiled with the alcohol flask that happened to be right on top of the ground of the headless people. Rumble. The alcohol flask shattered at the sun holy water, splattering everywhere. Sizzle. The remaining headless people were all drenched as they screamed and twitched in pain before falling to the ground. They melted their way quickly into the blood as the Zix's copper whistle lay in still middle of the purified area. It's resolved. German Sparrow is really strong. Even if he encounters Captain, he'll have the ability to resist her. It's a he is gonna resist her because the Captain is gonna want to join him on his journey. It's a pity that I didn't get to see what beyond her powers he had used. The Nits turned his head to look at Klein, who was standing in front of the remains of Bishop Millet, and silently sighed. Then he saw German Sparrow glance at him coldly. Subconsciously, the Nits ejected, ran out, and picked up a Zix copper whistle. Dunna rubbed his bruised arm and saw Uncle Sparrow in his long black coat walking back a few steps before stopping to pick up his half-top hat, silently dusting it off and putting it back on. Oh, that was the end of the chapter. Damn. That was such a freaking good fight. What was his name? Bishop Millet? That is so cool. That was such a cool fight. And it was also cool seeing how, like, the Nits fought with him. It's so tight. I love it. I'm loving their chemistry. I really hope the Nits stays with Klein for the rest of this volume. And, like, he helps him on his journey out into the open sea. Because that's going to be really cool. That's what happens. But let's update our time. This is going to be really cool if that happens. It's going to be so fucking sick. All right, timestamp. 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 31 seconds. The end of things. I guess we can probably stop the music, right? It sounds like we can stop it. Since the fight's over. I heard that they are changing the time zone starting in 2030. Maybe. More efficient time zone change, like globally, or I heard that switching to a 36 day, more hours equals more work. Oh, hell no. First time Klein kills an official Beyonder. They're also planning on slowing the Earth's rotation to increase more daylight coverage. How many more chapters are we doing? I think we can stream for like another 30 minutes. You know, I think we can do one more chapter. I think we can do one more chapter and then we round out at the hour, right? So we can probably go for like 20 more minutes and do one more chapter, right? I think we can do that. And then that way we do like 7 chapters. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it'd be 8 chapters. Wow, we would have done, but no, because he has killed a Rampager of the Stormer Church. Yeah, technically no. Yeah. With Old Neil, I remember he did help Old Neil. Yeah, they did take out that Rampager on the harbor, right? In Volume 1 with Old Neil. Yeah. What pathway do you suspect the Nits is? It has to be on the Sun pathway. If he's doing all these crazy ass abilities, maybe Bard. The Nits definitely doesn't die from accidentally seducing a demoness. Probably. Nah. I feel like he'd be too scared to seduce a demoness. He'd be like, oh, hell no, I'm gonna stay away. Like, this bitch is gonna kill me. Because, you know, how it said he's so cautious that he can look cowardly sometimes. So I feel like he'd be really cautious to approach her. I don't know. I feel like he'd be on Bard. Like, I feel like Derek is going to be able to do all these abilities later on, right? Like, we call him Little Sun. He wants to be the sun. I feel like all these fire abilities will be very fitting with him. Like, he'd be able to project all these, like, flame conjures or whatever. And then he can, like, conjure his own blades or his own weaponry. And then make those flame weapons. Like, I know he's using the thunder axe, right? But why does he look like... Does he look like a bard to you? He does not look like a bard. Technically, Derek also doesn't look like a bard, right? It's not like the stereotypical bard with the flute, you know, playing. Sun equals fire. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, but he definitely doesn't look like a bard. If he starts, like, singing praises of Gurman, then he'll definitely be a singing bard. But let's do one more chapter. Let's do one more chapter. Yeah, let's do one more chapter and we'll finish strong. But maybe, I'm telling you, I think he might be on the bard pathway. Just because he has all these fire abilities, and I feel like Derek would be able to use these in the future. Right? Especially since we call him Little Sun. I feel like these abilities are very fitting for Bard. Or at least for like a future sequence. But we'll find out. There may be certain nuances. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. But last chapter of the day is called 512. No. The last chapter of the day is chapter 512. And it's called The End of Things. The end of today's stream. Oh no. After Klein retrieved his... Look at that. Such a coincidental chapter for the last chapter of the day. After Klein retrieved his hat, Bishop Millet's Beyonder characteristics had already been fully condensed. It was only the size of the thumb. It was translucent and light blue in color. However, from time to time, green streaks would appear like a tidal wave that approached a blank hue. Opening the revolver cylinder, Klein shook it, dropping the empty shells that were 8 gold, silver, or brass in color on the ground, creating crisp, tinkling sounds. Then he calmly took out a speed loader. Oh, he has a speed loader. Oh. He calmly took out a speed loader he had prepared earlier and loaded other Beyonder round bullets into the gun. It's cool that he has one of those now. After doing all this, he put away the revolver, bent over to pick up the Bishop Millet's Beyonder characteristics, and stuffed it into his pocket without paying too much attention to it. Damn, he's like, I'm gonna take this one for me. Klein picked up his cane and turned back to the group. After taking a few steps, he pulled out a paper figurine and flicked it like he was slashing a whip. The paper figurine quickly ignited. It flew out of his hand and turned into a specks of scarlet light that fell to the ground, extinguishing into dust. How cool. Denton forgot the pain from his fall and stared intently. It's like Uncle Sparrow is setting off fireworks, done not in agreement with her brother's words. After using paper figurine substitutes to interfere with the information and traces in the area, Klein looked in the direction of the way back and said calmly and concisely, "Leave this area." With that, he turned around and walked away at a leisurely pace. He took the sun brooch and the Zig's copper whistle from Ellen and Dennis respectfully. Erdy and the others didn't make useless comments, nor did they cry out in pain. They followed quietly behind. In the battle just now, they had fully witnessed the uniqueness of Beyonders, especially Dennis' flaming powers. It was the most eye-catching and obvious. It let left them a deep impression, making them fully realize that this wasn't something ordinary people could intervene in. All they could do was abide by the instructions and follow closely behind. Only by doing so could they guarantee their survival. Compared to the Nits, the battle between Klein and Bishop Millet mainly involved invisible wind blades and the truly integrable psyche domain. Other than the holy light that seemed to descend from the gods and the frightening sight of Bishop Millet's loss of control, the entire battle seemed completely calm, so it didn't deliver a shock to the onlookers. As they passed by the area they had just been in, Cleve, Cecile, and the others suddenly stopped in their tracks. They saw that the ground covered with dense cracks everywhere. They instantly understood one thing, and that was that German Sparrow's battle with the fallen bishop was many times more harrowing than the other performance. They're like, oh shit, like look at the aftermath. Damn, that's so cool, dude. A sense of horror and security arose at the same time as all of them quickened their pace. Like, oh shit, let's get out, bro. 20 or 30 seconds later, Klein stopped on the street outside of the telegraph office. He said to Captain Ellen in a deadpan manner, "Do you want to send a telegram?" After saying that, he couldn't help but remind him, "Do not force your way in, alright?" On the strange night, Ellen was just as cautious. He took a few brisk steps to the telegraph office and knocked on the door 3 times. Thump, thump, thump. Amidst these slightly muffled sounds, someone from the inside asked, "Who is it?" Klein, who was already on guard, suddenly frowned because the one who spoke was a man. Ellen was also puzzled. "I want to send a telegram. Who are you? I remember the person on duty was a lady before." The man inside replied calmly, "I'm Pavel Court, Malane? From Expedition 33? Malay? Malay's colleague. She's right next to me. She's fine." So why isn't she speaking? It's her colleague. She's right next to me. She's fine. Just as Pavel Court finished speaking, the female voice from before immediately followed up. "Yes, I'm doing very well." What's happening? "You don't need to take note anymore. Pavel Court is back." How doesn't your folklore say not to answer or open the door? How did Pavel Court get in? Klein resisted the urge to question her. Ellen, yeah, what's going on? Ellen took it. What's up with the people here, man? They're acting kind of strange. Ellen took a step back and cleared his throat. "I'd like to send a telegram to the headquarters of the Church of Storms. I'm sorry, but we can't open the door," Pavel Court replied without emotion. Ellen also felt the strangeness of the matter and didn't dare to force it. Instead, he proposed an alternative plan. "Can you send it for me and pass the draft to me through the crack of the door? The content is about the abandoned change in Banty Harbor and the death of Bishop Millet and Priest Chase. It shall be signed off with Ellen." "All right." Millen's voice trailed off as if she returned to the telegraph machine. After waiting for a while, he heard tapping sounds, and before long, a copy of the telegram draft was extended from one gap under the door. Ellen bent down to pick it up, resisting the urge to peek through the cracks. He looked at the telegram. He should have peeked through it. He looked at the telegram draft as his nose suddenly twitched. He smelled a faint scent of blood on the paper. What the fuck? He looked at the telegram draft and his nose suddenly twitched. He smelled a faint scent of blood on the paper. He tilted his head and looked at German Sparrow, using his eyes to inform him that there was a problem with the telegraph office. However, he was met with a deep and unperturbed gaze, as well as the words that were said in a calm and indifferent tone. "Return to your ship?" What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry. Are all the people that live on this island cannibals and they just like secretly eat human flesh? And like public and secrecy, and like foreigners just don't know it? Like people that visit just don't know what's actually happening? Like what the fuck is going on, bro? They are definitely sus. After throwing this sentence out, Klein turned around immediately and walked towards the end of the street. He figured gradually blending into the thin fog. Carrying a broken lantern, the Nits immediately followed after him. Without any hesitation, Don and the others did the same. After pondering in silence for 2 seconds, Ellen took the telegram draft and ran after the group. No other sounds came out from the telegraph office anymore. It was unusually quiet. Perhaps due to the extermination of the fallen Bishop Millet, and the others didn't meet any more headless people, and the black cloaks on their way back, moldy heads were only seen twice, and they were easily dealt with. After walking for an unknown length of time, they finally saw the dock and the wide gate, which had candlelight seeping in. This sight made Erdy and the others regain the strength to transition from a brisk walk to a jog, all the way until they reached the bottom of the gangway. Klein stood guard below them with his blood-stained cane until everyone was on board. Then, with a tug, he jumped and arrived on the deck with just a few steps. At that moment, Ellen had already begun to gather his first mate, second mate, boatswain, gunner commander, and other subordinates. He got them together, the sailors, adjusted the cannons, and prepared to depart at any moment. Although leaving the port at night had non-trivial security risks, it would be best to wave to avoid danger if the situation worsened. That's true. He's clapping for stirring up chaos. Foreigners are met with delivering themselves to the inhabitants of an island. That's what I'm thinking, D. Foreigners are the meat delivering themselves to the inhabitants of the island. I think that was low-key. I think that's what's going on. That or like the elves are like coming in and taking the foreigners. I don't know. It's definitely weird, right? Like their behavior is definitely weird. And let me find my place. At that moment, Ellen had already begun to get. I read this. Klein nodded and pointed to the cabin and said, "Go back to your room first. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The danger hasn't been averted." I scrolled down too much. Donna nodded obediently. Together with Denton, she put her index finger to her lips. Shush. After the Branch family and the Timothy family entered, like I thought the Timothy family was gonna be eaten up there. Your bro is playing Simon Says with chat. It's like Uber. After the Branch family and Timothy family entered the cabin, Clang walked over to Ellen, took a Bishop Millet's Bionic characteristics, and threw it to him. If there are still man-eating punishers alive, return this to them. The Bionic characteristics left behind by a bishop who might have been a Sequence 6 would definitely be cursed by the Church of Storms, and everyone of the White Gate would be a target of suspicion. Klein didn't want to be wanted by the number one power at the sea as soon as he set sail. If none of the mandated punishers in Banty Harbor survived, as if reinforcements from the headquarters would take a while to arrive, leaving Klein plenty of time to deal with the matter and leave, then he would surely be reluctant to return it and would find a reason to cut it back. Ellen caught the thumb-sized object, glancing at it doubtfully. He didn't ask what it would be used for, and he chuckled. "Don't worry about what the Church of Storms investigation. I'll hint to them that you're with me. So I'll be considered a member of MI9 by the Church of Storms. Don't worry about the Church of Storms investigation. I'll hint to them that you're with me. So I'll be considered a member of MI9 by the Church of Storms." Klein nodded without saying anything else. Ellen looked at the Nits and probingly asked, "Blazing, huh?" The Nits chuckled dryly and took a leaf out of someone's book. "Guess." "I don't think so then," Ellen replied with tactic understanding. With the simple matters dealt with, Klein returned to the side of the ship and looked at the fog-shrouded Banty Harbor, prepared against any hidden dangers. Time ticked by, and the peak of the mountain next to the shore lit up once again with the lights of a thunderstorm. Streaks of silver and violent bolts of lightning swept the air without restraint before they gradually calmed down. The fog in Banty Harbor began to dissipate, and the light of the crimson moon became clear. Is it over? Even after seeing this, Klein still didn't dare to completely relax. Half an hour later, 3 men who claimed to be mandated punchers came to the dock to see Captain Ellen. After Gurman Sparrow confirmed it with a divination and a round of questioning, Ellen allowed the sailors to lower the gangway. The 3 mandated punchers motioned for the surrounding crew to leave. Then they lowered their voices and informed the captain of the situation. Klein didn't move closer to listen, but instead he waited patiently for the matter to end. After a few minutes later, Ellen returned to Bishop Millet's remaining characteristic to the mandated punchers and watched him leave the White Gate to deal with the rest of the mess. Ellen exhaled and came to Klein and the Nit's side. He casually said with a ting of lingering fear, "The matter has been resolved. There aren't any problems. Has it really been solved?" Klein suddenly thought of Pavel Court and Mullane behind the telegraph office door. He recalled Fox, the owner of the Green Lemon restaurant, and the many lodgers. Hold up. Are we going to find out what happened? And the many lodgers who had watched him silently. Ellen continued. To be specific, Jace discovered the revival of ancient customs, cannibalism, and live sacrifice. Confirming that a small number of people in Banty Harbor had become heretics, he hurried back to the church and reported this to Bishop Millet, but unbeknownst to him, the person before him was the leader of the heretics, a true fallen one. We're talking about Bishop Millet, right? He had his neck cut off. Oh yeah, he had his head cut off by Millet's wind blade and died in the Cathedral of the Lord. Millet was about to dispose of the body, but he was discovered by the servants, hence things spiraled out of control. Some of the servants were turned into monsters, the headless people were the ones turned into monsters. While some were led by the priests to hide underground. Without any means to hide himself, Millet quickly left the cathedral, gathered the heretics, and headed for the altar of the mountaintop. The weather changed as a result after mandated punchers retrieved 3 sealed artifacts. They rushed over and engaged in intense battle. In the process, Millet was injured and escaped, while the rest of the heretics remained to defend the altar, which was eventually overrun. The church's headquarters had already replied, and they'll be sending people to investigate the cause of Bishop Millet's fall. I told them that they were only able to kill Bishop Millet by joining forces because he was heavily injured. By the way, the mandated punchers have gotten me to get the branch of Timothy families to sign a confidential agreement. After giving a general account of the situation, Ellen let out a long sigh of relief and busied himself with the remaining matters. Klein didn't dare to completely relax. He stayed on deck until the clouds appeared to burn when the sun slowly rose, illuminating the entire port. He saw the resistance leave their houses one by one, basking in the golden sunlight, chatting and laughing as they headed for their respective job. Banshee Harbor finally had the breath of human life again. Finally, it's about time, dude. Skibbity? Did you just say skibbity? It's really over. Klein, what's with the bird and the fire? Wait, I don't get the bird part. It's really over. Klein turned around, slightly puzzled. He had planned to catch up on his sleep, but only after ship had departed. As for Danitz, although he had long been yawning, he remained motionless. We saw German Sparrow being motionless. On the way into the cabin, Klein met Ellen, who was also not slept the entire night. Good morning. We're about to leave the port. There's nothing to worry about. Ellen greeted with a smile. As she spoke, the Wetgate whistle sounded. Upon hearing the sound, Klein secretly exhaled, deciding to put up all his doubts behind him. He didn't want to think about Banshee Harbor anymore, so he nodded in response. Deciding to put all his doubts behind him? What doubts? Firebirds? Oh. Alan stretched his neck and commented with a sigh. Last night I had a mystical feeling that the old Bincy and the modern Banshee Harbor overlapped. Klein had intended to walk past him when he suddenly grasped a word asked with a grave expression. Bincy. Huh. That's the ancient name of Banshee Harbor. 300 or 400 years ago, it was called Bincy Town. Later, due to its pronunciation and other factors, it gradually evolved into Banshee Ellen introduced in passing. Klein's people shrank when he heard the answer. He remembered very clearly that the evil spirit in Backlund's underground relic had once mentioned that if one wanted to find one of the founders of the Rose Redemption, the former king of angels, Medici, and the descendants, one could go to Bincy Town to try their luck. That was revealed. Bincy. Klein's heart seemed to freeze over inch by inch. A chill radiated from the depths of his bone marrow. Oh, so that's the lingering... Wait, hold up. Before we read that, hold up. We're almost... Wait, hold. There's one more sentence. He jerked his gaze back to the harbor, to the scenes of the telegraph office with its tightly closed doors, and the lodgers in the Green Lemon restaurant who were silently staring at him. Hold up. We gotta do overall thoughts. There's a lot to digest in that last paragraph. Hold up. Oh, wait, hold up. Before I read all your guys' responses, let me do my timestamp. I don't want to lose my place. 1 hour, 54 minutes, 21 seconds. Hold up. Before I read all your guys' responses, let me reread that one more time. Fucking shit. Why can't I type? Overall thoughts. Hold up. By Provoker? Wait, hold up. Let me reread that again. Let me highlight this. Yeah. Let me highlight this. Let me read this one. I need to stop letting my brother type. Let me reread this one more time. So he remembered very clearly that the evil spirit in Backlund's underground relic had once mentioned that if one wanted to find one of the founders of Rose Redemption, the former king of angels, Medici, and his So the lingering danger is Medici, the former king of angels, and his descendants are the townsfolks. And his descendants, one could go to Bincy Town to try their luck. So wait, why the fuck are the townsfolk acting so weird? And like, what was the whole deal with the blood cake and the blood on it? Like what's going on? That's confusing me. So let's reread this. So Medici is the king of angels, and he's currently lurking in the underground of Bincy Town. So let me reread this. Let's read what D said. Bincy Town has descendants of Medici. Information revealed by the evil spirit in Volume 2 during the exploration of the ruin with Miss Bodyguard. Yeah, I remember. The underground ruin. They said, oh, yeah, just let me go. Yeah, and Klein and her were like, no, that's not a good idea. No, I remember that part. Yeah, and Medici did reveal that. Like, you can try your luck there. Okay. So all the residents are or I assume, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. Medici? Medici. Medici. Medici? 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 But that's what happened. Medici. Oh, Medici. Okay, yeah, there you go. We said it right the first time. Pronounced Medici, I think. Okay, we got it. Medici. Wait, so, okay. Can you guys reveal why the townsfolk were acting so weird or not yet? Or will that be revealed later? That can't be revealed yet, right? Because as of right now, that fight with Bishop Millet was pretty badass. Yeah, there you go. No. Medici. So you guys can't reveal that yet. Okay. So don't reveal why they're being weird. We don't need to know why they were acting all weird and sus. Can't say? Okay, so we can't say. So there has to be something. I don't know. You will discover it one day. All right, we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out one day in the future. But for now, that was fun. I had a lot of fun. We were gone for like a week. I apologize for that. They were definitely feeling a little freaky plastic January. I think that's a good way to put it. So there are descendants of the former king of Angel Medici, right? Okay, that's so weird. I wonder, is there any fan art on Bishop Millet? Because that was, like, his appearance and his description was pretty badass. I thought it was pretty cool. Well, hold up. I stopped recording. Son of a bitch. I stopped recording. All right. Well, the recording ended there. I accidentally stopped the recording. That's kind of fucking funny. I don't think there's any artwork on him, right? No? Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior? Who's this? What's with the Templar outfit? Dog shit. That's fucking funny. Dude, I'm liking the knits. He's such a fucking cool character. I'm looking at the fan art. Is he flicking them off and then there's fire? That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny one to Decent. And then same with fucking Klein. He's like, he's adjusting his glasses, flicking someone off. That's pretty funny. Bye. Yeah, no, we'll leave it there. That was fun. Gotta go, everyone. Yeah, no, I hope you guys had a fun day. Yeah, no, but yeah, we're gonna end stream there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow we should stream for like around the same time, like 2 to 3 hours. It should be the same, maybe a little bit less tomorrow, but we'll see. Yeah, the goal this week, stream about 2 hours minimum. Monday to Friday. That's the goal. The goal this week, 2 hours Monday to Friday, and if we do more, that's a plus. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna start uploading this, and then off stream, I'm gonna be finishing my notes. I'm currently like at 426 in my notes. So I'm like 16 more chapters and I'm done with volume 2, and then I'll just like condense everything. Yeah, go sleep, guys. Go sleep, go get some food, go get some grub. And we are 37.78% done with Lord of Mysteries. Alright, later, guys. Oh, yeah, okay, we will keep it privated and keep it members only for like a week. And then we'll be like, oh, if you guys, you know, want to watch the VODs right away, read 440 well, we would. Yeah, we will, because I remember we kind of glossed through all that lore. So I think what I'm going to do, Romero, I'm going to copy and paste all that fucking lore drop from 440 and its respective category in my notes. And then when I finish my volume 2 notes, I'm going to go back and start condensing my notes and start abbreviating and making them more condensed and concise. But I'm going to leave it there. I'll probably make a post about keeping VODs members only for 1 week. And then that way we get potentially more members and then we can add more emojis without making that sound scummy. But I'll leave it there. You guys have a beautiful day or night wherever you live. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for having 30 to 40 people the whole time. Thank you guys. Peace. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I'll have the stream updated in a few hours. Or before I go to bed. I should probably have the thing ready. If not, after I go to the gym in the morning. 440 is important. I made a poll on Discord. All right, I'll go check it. I'll go look at it right now. I'll see you guys in Discord for a little bit right now before we head out and go to bed and whatnot. All right.